Yo, what's up, dudes? How are y'all? Happy Friday. All right. Y'all have anything y'all want to watch today? Y'all put anything on the list? Oh. All right. Gotta do this. All right. I'll check the list here in a second and see what's on there. If y'all want to go ahead and put stuff on there now, if y'all haven't yet, feel free. I'll be right back. All right. Oh, what's good? How are y'all? Okay. I had to go get the last of this coffee and turn off the coffee maker. I'm a shit. Dude, by the way, I haven't had this candy in a while. But this shit right here, fucking gross. Oh. Orange flavored Airhead. I like these, man. My niece was gracious enough to give me this. She's like, hey, Theo, I have a present for you, and she gave me Airhead. But, bro, the orange is fucking nasty. Ugh. Maybe that's why she gave it to me, because she tasted it before. And she's like, nah. I'm gonna put this shit off on him. Awful. This is so gross. Y'all can't hear my other music that I'm playing, can you? I hope not. I always like the man. Hell no. That I didn't know what it tastes. I was like, orange. Oh, that shouldn't be that bad. What is this? 2 to 4 inches of snow expected on Wednesday of this coming up week. Bitch. That's another whole ass day that my niece is gonna be out of school. Look. Alright. Hit the list. Sorry if that shook the whole ass camera. Skyrim videos? Bro, there's 2 of them. Back to back. But I don't think Red's here. Drago, I think you're here. Skyrim intro, but it's brain rot. Like the first intro to the game, which I played actually, because I did play Skyrim. But I don't really think I got like past anything. Really, I think I just did that intro and I walked around for a little bit and thought that I could fight a dragon, and turns out I couldn't. I just logged off and to my girl's house at the time, I guess. But fuck it, but. So yeah, that's about my extent. That's about the extent of my Skyrim career. Literally the intro and like 5 minutes into the game. And then this one's called Skyrim Randomness Part 5. This better not be just a whole bunch of fucking random, just super loud cackling and screaming. We've already seen plenty of that via McNasty videos and shit. And then we did that Company of Heroes and that Star Wars video, so that's good. We knocked those out. We did that Habitual Line Crosser video. We did that new Angry Cops video, right? I should probably check. Before we get started with these Skyrim videos. Let me see what I would probably want to watch at some point during the stream. Oh, we haven't seen that one. US AIDS Craziest Projects Uncovered. But we did the Drill Sergeant School video. Let's see if there's anything else in here that seemed interesting to me. Bro, you know what I should do? You know what I might start doing in the future? Is I might start doing the same thing that Angry Cops does. But I don't know where Angry Cops gets his news. When it comes to his videos, like, I don't know if people just, like, tell him about this shit on Instagram, or, like, let him know, or, like, if he's got his finger on the pulse all the time, but I don't know. In the future, I thought about, like, just making a channel specifically for the Army Times, because, you know, the Army Times is like a newspaper. You won't see it in the civilian world. You only see it on military installations, mainly Army installations. It's called the Army Times. It's like a newspaper, and it basically tells you everything current with the Army, what's going on, movements, stuff like that, like brand new training, or it's just like the newspaper, but just for military shit. I thought about just like making videos on that, because like, bro, no one reads the Army Times. Nobody. Even when I was in the service, man, like, no one ever bought that shit. But a lot of people use the internet, so I kind of figured I could go down that route of just like, I don't know, going over the Army Times in video format. Kind of like the same thing that Angry Cops does here, but he gives you stories about actual soldiers. Whereas I doubt that the Army Times is going to have this kind of news, because it's the Army Times and it's written by the Army. A lot of it's going to be watered down, but I mean, I'd be down to do that. Probably on a separate channel, maybe. I don't think I'd want to do it here. And just cover Army shit. Yo, Ticken, what's good? Angry cop military slang? Where's that at? I think we've done that one. Yeah, Kevin, Ticken's from the other side of the planet. And I just hit my tooth on my fucking... I didn't ship it. Okay, good. Oh. I mean, we can do a video on military slang, if y'all want. There's a lot of military slang that I know, but there's quite a bit that I don't know. So, where is that video? What are you talking about? Military slang? Maybe? Y'all gotta type it in? I mean, this is from 5 years ago. I don't know if I watched this one. Military slang has offended far too many people. Says we are the mighty. Maybe we watched that, maybe we didn't. I don't know. That was 5 years ago. Military word of the day, leg. That's hilarious. We did a lot of these actually. We did donkey dick. That's just a device you used for vehicles. Leg. That's someone who's not airborne. Or yeah, I'm pretty sure someone who's not airborne. Like, puddle pirate. I don't think that's army related. I don't know what that is. I've never heard that one. Puddle pirate. Blue Falcon. We all fucking know what that is. We've seen that one. Dependopotamus. We've seen that one. Remph. REMF? I don't know what that is. What is REMF? This is only 2 minutes. I kind of want to see it because I don't know what that is. Remph. I don't want to find out. If Red gets here, we'll watch that Skyrim video. And then, Drago, if you want to watch that, if you still want to watch that video, let me know. Welcome to... Alright. I need to see what this means. I've never heard this acronym before.
Another edition of Military Word of the Day, sponsored by Manscaped's Lawnmower 3.0. To find out how you can save 20% by using code ANGRY20, stay tuned to the end of this informative video. Today's word is REMF. REMF is an acronym that stands for Rear Echelon, motherfucker! Non-infantrymen, or POGs, that are not ashamed of not being combat arms, show their POG pride by saying REMF. REMF!
But couldn't... I mean, so when I deployed, there was people that didn't. And they were called rear detachment. It's not that they couldn't deploy. It's not that they were too afraid to deploy. It's not that they didn't want to deploy. It's just that the military said, hey, we don't really need you for this tour. And we don't really actually need like 14 or 15 of you. So y'all are going to stay behind, right? And some of these MOSs weren't really, I mean, they weren't 11 Bravos that were staying behind. That's for sure. But I know this word to be rear D, but I'm guessing this is another way of like, this is what turd bags do, right? Rear echelon, motherfucker. I ain't doing shit. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't fucking thinking about going nowhere. I don't know. Is this supposed to be like turds? Because sometimes you don't really have a choice on if you're rear detachment or not. I don't know. And rear D means like you don't go, you don't go, bro. You don't deploy. You're nowhere. You're just like, you stay behind.
Fuck those grunts and their 120-degree ruck marches in the middle of Alabama in August. Or the frozen tundra of Alaska in the middle of January. Your supply or finance, any one of those jobs. And you...
Oh, yeah, bro. Supply, finance, quite possibly anyone that works inside operations. whatever person signs your leave form, well, no, that's your commander. Whatever person puts together your leave packets for the commander to sign, that person will probably stay. But again, that shit just depends, bro, because on my first deployment, we had a cook. We had 2 cooks. That was their MOS. Did they cook? No. I mean, they would go to the kitchen sometimes and like oversee some of these fucking Afghans, because we had Afghans in the kitchen. But they still had a rifle and shit. They still went on missions. I don't know. I think that, yeah, I don't know. I think REMF is just like the turds that don't deploy, and Rear D is just the people that just got told, no, you're not deploying. And that could be for any reason, too. I mean, you could not deploy for any reason. They could choose to not deploy you for any reason, whether it be medical, mental health. Maybe there's too many people on the deployment. I don't know. You never know. And you're just going to be there just in case, right? As a fill-in. Maybe someone dies or gets so severely injured they have to come home. You're there, right? That's Rear D, really, for the most part. Yo, Jones,
You don't have time for any of that back-breaking nonsense. You've got AC and heated electrical blankets to protect you from all the hate and shady glances that you receive after the battalion that you support gets back from a 3-week-long field exercise with no showers. Gross. Screw some dusty fob or outpost. You're on a major operational base in combat housing units. You've got a bed to yourself, share a bathroom with some fine desert queen, and a 32-inch television screen that you play Halo on every Thursday night with the boys when they come over and drink the St. Polygirl non-alcoholic beer. War can be hell, but it can also be a paid tax-free vacation. Especially.
It can. A prime example, my little sister. She's in the Air Force, bro, man. So pretty much anywhere she deploys, it's fucking chill city. It's chill central. I mean, she works, bro, and she works her ass off and stuff, but like, she doesn't work in the same capacity that I did, or that my battle buddies did, right? And she's not even in the same scenarios that I was in. Like her deployments, man, I look at them and I'm just like, bro, that's like leave right there. Literally. That's paid leave with extra money because it's tax-free because you're overseas.
If you're in the rear with the gear.
Yeah.
When used in a sentence, REMF sounds as follows. Johnson, where you at for issuing out the gear for them 82nd boys? Oh, I ain't issuing out shit. Half those sons of bitches came over here yelling and screaming, calling me a pope, and acting all sorts of stupid. Oh, then they ain't getting shit. No, they ain't getting shit. REMF, REMF, REMF. REMF. And now, a word from our sponsor. Look at me.
Got it. Let's see what the comment section thinks about this acronym, because I never used it. REMF is used as a friendly insult in the British Army in a similar way POG is used. I didn't think it was bad. It's used a lot in the British military. I'd never heard it in the Army, so, I mean, yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, I forgot about his... Can't say I heard the term REMF during my deployment. The term so lovingly bestowed upon me was fobbit. You never leave the fob? Yeah, I got it. If I recall correctly, it was over 10 years ago. Cut me some slack, but yeah. People always ask if my deployment was scary, to which the only response I had was, I spent 12 hours a day, 7 days a week in a massive air-conditioned bunker. No. No, it wasn't. Which sucks, dude, because there's a lot of people that they deploy and they don't really have any cool stories. They don't really have any stories at all. It's just like, I sat in operations and just I was on a computer for most of the time I was there. They really have nothing to tell you. Which sucks, but that's the way it be sometimes. A lot of people think that just because you deploy that, oh, bro, it's all bad. No, man. There's certain aspects of deployments and there's certain jobs within certain branches of the military that when you deploy, or I've seen it with my own 2 eyes, man. These people, they would probably opt to never leave. Really. And I've seen people that their job was just so great and just so chill that they would extend. They would try to extend anyway for their deployment just to keep getting paid because, like, bro, it's so easy, it's so chill. There's no chance of you dying. Especially if you work on a place like Bagram, right? On that airfield. Maybe they get IDF once in every now and again, but... Anyways. That's interesting. I've never heard that one before. we just usually use just rear D, bro. That's what it was. Rear detachment. And I don't know, man. When we had rear detachment was full of people in operations, people that worked in S6, stuff like that. Or the people that were just perpetually injured. You know what I'm talking about. The sick call warriors, the ones that were just like always fucked up. Ankle, knee, leg, head, spleen, lung, liver, fucking something, bro. There was always something wrong with them, right? Those motherfuckers didn't deploy. Really. Like they're on like 1,000,001 different profiles and shit. Those dudes barely deployed. Mainly because they didn't want to. And I saw him. There was this one dude I served with. He went to the doctor for everything under the sun. And he was prescribed damn near almost every single medication that you could quite possibly think of. And once it came close to deployment, he started like slowly losing his mind and like deteriorating, I guess. I don't know. I think he was just playing crazy, right? But he just like slowly started to like descend into madness. And all the medication he was on, the military was like, yeah. He didn't deploy at all. And I think during our deployment, he got kicked out. Like, we deployed, came back, he wasn't there. So, yeah. All right. Let's see what we got. And I still remember that dude, too. He was a turd. He stole my TV and my Xbox. You know, because I thought he was my friend. It was me and my roommate. Both trusted him. And we thought that we were homies. We thought we were cool. Right? And we were like, hey, man, since you ain't deploying, but we are, could you do us a solid and mail us our shit once we get to the stand, right? Can you help us out a little bit and just like mail it for us? Because we can't really take all this stuff. And we could, we would just be a pain in the ass and it'd probably get broke on the way. He's like, yeah, sure, I got you, bro. I got y'all. He didn't have us. He fucked us over. He stole all of our stuff. And we're in Afghanistan, so what can we do? Nothing. What, call the police? No. What police? You call an investigator? Who? What investigator? Who's gonna care that you trusted the wrong motherfucker and they stole your shit? Especially in Afghanistan. They probably wouldn't even care if we were back there. Right? Like, oh, sucks for you. So yeah, that kind of happened. So yeah, literally my first paycheck that I got when I was deployed, I literally had to buy a brand new TV and a brand new Xbox and a brand new everything because of this motherfucker. And I was just like, and I felt so bad too because my friend, my other homie, that he trusted me because I trusted him, and so because he trusted me, he ended up getting fucked over, and I felt kind of bad. But let's see. We still got these Skyrim videos. Yeah, it was not fun. But that's not the worst I've ever been stabbed in the back before, so, like, whatever. It's cool. It's not a big deal. Oh, I forgot I had that. If y'all put anything on the list, tell me where. Oh, huzzah. Almost done with this shit. Men don't have hobbies? What do you mean by that? I think we got the most hobbies, actually. Y'all ever dated a girl and she looks at you all the fucking time, 24/7, like you're her entertainment and it's your job to be there for her entertainment all the time because she don't have friends, but you have a lot of friends? Y'all ever been there? I've been there. What do you mean we don't have hobbies? Let's see.
Men don't have hobbies. They do everything for female attention. Yeah, nice hand-painted Warhammer figurines, you fucking slut.
Yeah, right.
Men don't have hobbies. They do everything.
Yeah, okay. My hobby is video games, man. I'll tell you, I've been with a lot of chicks, bro. They don't have a hobby. Their hobby is you, and it is your job to be the entertainment for them all the time. That's not how it goes. You got me fucked up. You better get some friends, girl. I got friends. I hope you got friends. I don't like that. So what are we doing today? I'm gonna go hang out with the fellas because I spent all day with your ass. So I don't know what you're doing, but that's what I'm doing. Some ladies don't like that. Tough titties. Yo, I cannot wait to not see Captain America, the newest one. I can't wait to not see it. It's crazy. I'm so excited. I'm actively doing that right now. No, not waiting to not see it. It makes sense. Bro, there's so much fucking. I gotta clear my history. So too much Marvel Rivals. Taking up a whole bunch of other shit. Oh, we haven't seen anything by Sunny V2 in a while. We should watch something by him. See what he's got. Because we haven't checked anything out by. Oh yeah, Kevin, she did. Yeah, she sold all my furniture. She sold my dogs. Um, the only thing she couldn't sell was my car. So I think that was like the only thing that I didn't put in her name. And she had a power of attorney to pay my bills while I was gone, while I was deployed. And she didn't do any of that. So she didn't pay any of the rent. She didn't pay my credit card. She didn't pay my car. She didn't pay like anything really. And I was left with all that. I incurred all that debt because it was all in my name. So okay. Video games, yeah. Most of us have hobbies, bro. That's one thing I've noticed. A lot of us dudes have hobbies, and like, dog, my second ex-wife was like that. So like, I had a lot of friends, man. I had a lot of military friends that I had still hung out with, and I was back home then, so I had like a lot of back home friends that I had. She didn't have that many friends in high school, and the only friends that she had from high school, she barely saw. And then she had a lot of friends in college, but then she moved back home from college, and those friends obviously, for obvious reasons, didn't come with her, right? Because they got their own life to do. So she comes back home with no friends, and I come back home at the same time with a whole bunch of friends, right? I got military friends that I'm still hanging out with. I got my back home friends I'm still hanging out with. And, you know, we're dating and stuff like that. And, like, it just became one of those things where she would get mad at me for wanting to hang out with my friends. Or, like, she would get mad at me when I'd play video games with my friends and shit. And I was just like, well, what do you do? Right? And she would be like, can we do something? Can we do something that's not this? I'm like, you're not. We're Stephanie. You don't have friends. Do you not have your own thing that you can do? Do I got do I got it? I just got to be your little dancing monkey all the time. Man, I don't like that. I don't. You need to have your own hobbies and your own friends. Let's see what looks interesting. Okay, I'm not watching anything about Ryan's Toy World because. Okay, the last thing we watched was Haktua. And then after Haktua, I can't even begin to tell you how little I give a fuck about KSI. So our two options are between Bevo, There's no way he looks like that. That's wild. And then Jack Black is rapidly losing followers. I have a couple of theories as to why he might. Dude's a raging softie. Like an oxymoron, but he's a raging softie. No one likes that. I give a fuck about Ellen. Okay, yeah. Some of these I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care about Anthony Fantano. We did watch this fake cancer one. Got it, I think. Yeah, that girl. Okay. We covered a lot of these. Coco Melon. All right. Jack Black has that look that looks into your soul. Let's watch this one. I don't know. I have some theories.
New members play for free.
I think that once upon a time, you know what ruins it for a lot of celebrities? Politics. That's what ruins it for a lot of celebrities. That's why people start to hate them. Even if you share their views, right? Even if they're saying something you agree with, you just don't give a fuck to hear about politics from these people. And one thing I've noticed this with quite a few celebrities is that at the beginning of their career, they're like tight-lipped, quiet. They don't say much. They answer questions. They're pleasant. They're nice, right? They interact well with people. And then around like year 10, year 15 into their career, that's when they start getting lippy. You notice this? Right? I've noticed this with like a lot of actors. They start getting lippy. They start getting bold. They start getting brave. They start thinking like, I can't fall off. Been here for 20 years. I can say whatever the fuck I want. Bro, if that didn't work for Kanye, it's not going to work for you either. And that's what happens, I feel, man. I see a lot of celebrities. Today is Singles Awareness Day. Let's go. That is my day. I should be the CEO of this day. Make me the leader of this day. Maybe. That's fantastic. Why is there awareness though? We're very aware that we're single. I don't really think that needed a day. I'm very aware of my freedom. I don't call it being single. I call it having extra freedom that others don't have. Anyways, let's see why Jack Black is losing.
National treasure. We must protect him at all costs. Comments such as this were normal just 1 year ago, but after a string of unexpected controversy, he's not only losing thousands of followers, but every Jack Black comment section is...
Wait, what? Oh shit, today's Valentine's Day? Oh yeah. February 14th. I thought that was an actual day. I thought you were talking about an actual day, Singles Awareness Day. Nah, that was just a funnier way of saying Valentine's Day. I get it now. Stupid. My bad. Teeny? Oh, you mean Keanu Reeves? I think I get what you're saying there. Yeah. From what I've heard, yeah. I mean, you don't really see too many celebrities taking public transportation such as a train in broad daylight with no friends, family, or security. Just you by yourself. One of the most famous men on the planet. Keanu Reeves, just walking around like he's no one. And no one approaches him either because they're just like, ain't no way that's him. He's got like the perfect disguise. No one fucks with him and he could just move freely throughout regular everyday people. Alright. It's probably how Superman gets away with being Superman. Everybody's like, nah, there's no way that's him.
flooded with negativity. Compare this to only 11 months ago, when we listed Jack Black among celebrities who have basically zero haters. There was nothing controversial about him. In a Reddit thread asking about the most beloved celebrities, one of the top comments was Jack Black. He's just such a lovable guy. How could
I've never disliked Jack Black. I think he's funny. But again, there's some people here on the internet that get way too much, like, I don't know.
you not like him? He never took life too seriously, always trolling the paparazzi and acting like a fool for the public's entertainment. By starting his own YouTube channel, Jack Black showed that actors are still just normal people.
Hey, what's up? It's me, Jack Black. This is my new YouTube channel, Jablinski.
Giving him a relatable edge that made his fans adore him. So when he'd faced his first controversy roughly 2 years ago, his audience was generally forgiving. Jack Black had shown his support for a charity named Autism Speaks. Articles explained in 2013 he hosted an Autism Speaks benefit, and in 2015 performed at the Lighted Up Blue Autism Speaks fundraiser. In 2018 he'd promote the charity via Twitter, perhaps ignoring it being extremely controversial. Autism Speaks
Without exaggeration, Autism Speaks hates autistic people. For over a decade, Autism Speaks tried to find a cure for autism. They treated autism like it was some type of disease that could be cured. I'm trying to find where this is bad. Am I missing something? I mean, calling autism a disease aside, that's just like it's a brain disorder. I'm sure. Why wouldn't you want to find a cure for it? If you can fix something like that? Why wouldn't you want to fix something like that? Why is this bad? I'm confused. I would think that trying to find a cure for this would be a good thing. No? Correct? What am I missing? I don't know. That's like, there's no cure for epilepsy, but if someone was trying to find a cure for epilepsy, why would I be offended at that? Are you saying I'm just weird? Huh? Are you saying that I got a disease? Huh? No, man, if you can fix me, fucking fix me, man. Because if it's outside of normal, then it's a problem, right? I don't understand what's happening here. It's a genetic thing, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but whatever. I think they're just. Let's see.
Hates autistic people. For over a decade, Autism Speaks tried to find a cure for autism.
How dare they? Me personally, I'm appalled, and my disappointment is immeasurable.
Treated autism like it was some type of disease that could be cured. People therefore complained on Twitter, friendly reminder that while Jack Black is currently trending, he has donated to ableist and eugenicist organizations like Autism Speaks and Next for Autism that focus on fixing and curing autism, a neurological condition. He has also attended Autism
I don't understand. Why are people mad? Just a reminder, this piece of shit has donated to organizations that want to try and fix or cure autism. And if it turns out that they can't cure or fix it, then oh well, at least they tried, right? What am I missing that people are getting so offended?
Speaks galas, yet his audience gave him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe Jack
like I'm doing right now. I just don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
know it was a bad company and was just trying to do something good and got duped. Just playing devil's advocate, what if he's unaware of the problematic issues? Jack Black seems like a decent person. This explains why he'd also give political opinions, but with his comments now reading, never get political, it always ends wrong, this had become a primary reason for the fall of his reputation.
Do you see? Do you see? I called it. Damn near instantly. I knew it, bro. They can't help themselves, man. He went such a long time in his career without getting involved in politics, and then there it is, dude. They can't help it.
Now, Jack Black has always been politically outspoken, but would make his arguments subtle and funny in the classic Jack Black style. For example, in 2017, Tenacious D performed "This Government Totally Sucks," in which they joke about Benjamin Franklin getting naked and smoking weed. Similarly, in 2020, Jack Black made his own.
I'd watch that movie if they made a movie about Benjamin Franklin getting naked and smoking weed, and that was the catalyst for his discoveries and his creations. I'd watch that.
Commercial stating it's time to be a hero with a mask. Not this kind, but this kind, before jumping headfirst into his pool. Videos like that were pretty smooth and inoffensive. However, by 2023, his political opinions were less about the comedy and significantly more direct. For example,
see, and that's what I was just about to say. It's one thing to do it in comedy. It's one thing to do it in a skit, a movie, a song, something like that. You do it in a song, people would just call that, what, slam poetry, probably? But when you get rid of the entertainment aspect of it and you're just like straight up like, hey, man, I'm butthurt now. I'm putting the guitar down and I'm just gonna, no one cares, man. No one, if you're not gonna make it entertaining, right? It doesn't matter about what side it is either. At least make it entertaining because that's your whole thing. Then, yeah, no one cares.
He'd give his opinion on the Israel-Palestine war, for which he was heavily.
Oh my God, why? Do you even know anything about Israel and Palestine? Because I don't. Man, I do know that them fuckers have been at war for way longer than any of us have been alive. It's not even my job nor my place to put myself in the middle of that. I know that I made a video where I simply just tried to understand it from the outside looking in, but I don't even need to read any of that because I know it's probably stupid.
Criticized to the extent that people called for a Kung Fu Panda boycott. When he shared an image reading "Climate change is a human rights crisis," the comments again weren't too positive. Goodbye, Jack, you lost me there. Nobody needs you to guide them politically. You're a professional court jester. That's why we watch you. OMG, LMFAO, Jack Black, you've gone down the gutter. In the meantime, about half of his Twitter became political retweets, peaking in June 2024 when Jack Black endorsed the president.
A few days ago, my manager called me and said George Clooney and Julia Roberts wanted me to help out the president, and I said, I am in. When and where?
He proudly reposted the video to his Twitter, but with almost as many replies as the post had likes, it's safe to say his message didn't land so smoothly. Love your work, I just wish you didn't endorse anyone. Hollywood needs to stay out of politics. You were a part of a lot of people's childhood laughs. Now you're just a deadbeat sellout. What a shame. You've only alienated your fan base.
Don't they all do that, though? Huh? Don't they all do that? Taylor Swift did it. Eminem did it. Serena Williams, athletes, they've all, people have a really short memory. They all do this, man. They all do this. All of them. With the exception of a few. But, bro, DiCaprio, man. Fucking De Niro. All them fucks, dude. They all do the same shit. They all do the same exact thing. Except they simply just show people. They don't tell people. DiCaprio doesn't get on Twitter. At least I don't think. I don't have Twitter. I don't think DiCaprio acts the same way that Jack Black does on social media. DiCaprio just gonna physically show you. He's gonna go and talk shit to you about climate change and then hop on a private jet. That's how he shows you who he is, right? But Jack Black really just likes telling you. So But they all do it, man. They all do it.
We're here waiting for you to do better, although these were the more polite replies as they only got worse. Over 15,000 people supported a response reading, add Jack Black to the list of pedo-wood elites. Repost if you aren't surprised. Numerous other memes pushed similar allegations, with another person straight up stating, here's an awesome tip. Stay away from the pedophile at Jack Black just because he endorsed a presidential candidate. A different fan expressed, I'm so beyond saddened by this political shilling. The word disappointing isn't strong enough, and I just attended one of your recent Houston shows. Well, never again, Jack. And in a poll asking, have you lost all respect for at Jack Black, 85% responded with yes. The poll
There should be another one that says, I don't care. Yes, no, unsure, I don't care. I would be in the I don't care portion. Really.
was likely somewhat biased, but still for the first time ever, Jack Black was losing followers. However, this likely wasn't a massive concern as he was busy with something else completely.
Yeah, but how much of... Perfect timing. Yeah, but how much of Jack Black's actual fan base is on the internet? Because it's one thing if his YouTube channel loses a couple of hundred or maybe a couple of thousand subscribers. How much of his YouTube audience is his actual general broad audience, like his whole audience? Like Jack Black could disappear from social media right now and still have a shit ton of followers. I'm wondering, to call it a loss, I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting.
Black's band had been traveling the world on their spicy meatball tour. They'd been through North America, all across Europe, and had landed in Australia just 24 days after Jack's presidential controversy. They scheduled their second show in Sydney for bandmate Kyle Gass's birthday, celebrating on Instagram before the show started. This continued into the band's performance, which would lead to the following interaction.
Don't miss Trump next time.
Mixed feedback immediately rolled in. Some people said that they're a comedy band that make dark jokes. It was a joke, they make jokes. JB and KG, they're good human beings with good intent, whilst others plainly stated, sorry Jack, but I'm out. One senator tweeted, there is no place in Australia for those who wish for the assassination of others, demanding that Tenacious D must be deported immediately. As a
Jesus. I guess Australia takes that shit very seriously. You know, because here in the United States, we have celebrities that threaten the president all the fucking time and nothing happens. Like Madonna and fucking... Who's that bitch with the red hair? I don't know. They make the same kind of jokes and shit. And they sometimes I don't even think it is jokes. They're very serious. They just put a comedy bow on it. Right? But Australia takes that shit seriously. We don't take that shit seriously here in America at all. If you're a celebrity, you can pretty much say whatever the fuck you want and nothing's gonna happen to you. But let you be a fucking Walmart employee or some shit and say something like that, you're getting fired and the FBI showing up at your house.
As a result, Kyle Gass apologized, writing, the line I improvised on stage Sunday night in Sydney was highly inappropriate, dangerous, and a terrible mistake. I don't condone violence of any kind, in any form against anyone. What happened...
I kind of look at that joke as... But you never know, man. You might say that and some random person, you don't know who, you don't know where, might take what you say and apply it, right? But at the same time... I think of that line as a line that someone would use for JFK, right? Damn, I bet you he wish he would have had the top down. Or I bet you he wish he wouldn't have had the top down, right? People make jokes about that all the time, but it's never in a sense of you killing the president. It's just a joke about the president being killed. Bet you he wishes he would have had a roof that day, right? There's plenty of jokes that have been made about that. And most of them are in good taste too. There's nothing really awful about it, but whatever, bro.
was a tragedy, and I'm incredibly sorry for my severe lack of judgment. I profoundly apologize to those I've let down, and truly regret any pain I've caused. Jack Black added I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form, but after rewatching the clip, people didn't buy it. Black was blindsided? He laughs when Kyle says it. He doesn't condone that kind of speech, but you see him laughing when the comment is made. Jack's apology continued. After much reflection, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour and all future creative
yeah, I heard about this. Yeah. So that's them splitting up was because of this? I don't know. I feel like that's Jack Black being very disingenuous, man. Really. Like, you've been known to have contempt and somewhat hatred for Donald Trump, right? Right? And then your bandmate says some shit that you really do agree with. People get mad. And you cut ties with your homie? First off, regardless how I feel about this, I don't think your homie should have apologized. Really, to be honest, the other guy, I don't think you should have apologized, and I don't think you should have done this. Really. But I feel like this is disingenuous on your part because this is something that was said against Donald Trump, but you've always been against Donald Trump, but you saw this as an opportunity for yourself to look like the bigger person and get some browning points on Twitter and look like the responsible, right? Look like the responsible adult, right? To have, I guess, moral superiority, right? You did this so that people could look at you in a good light, and who gives a fuck about how people look at your homie? Your homie's out of a job, you canceled all this shit, you fucking fucked it, right? When you didn't even need to at all whatsoever, like the stupid jackasses from Florida Georgia Line that literally gave up making millions of dollars because they disagreed on the president. One was for Trump and the other one wasn't. Right? It's just like, but hey man, you wanted to get political, right? There you go. Lie in your own fucking shit bed.
Plans are on hold. I'm grateful to the fans for their support and understanding. He'd stated in an interview 3 weeks later, we need to take a break. Everybody needs a break sometime and we'll be back, but it was already too late. Even those people who didn't mind the joke were disappointed by Jack's lack of support for his bandmate.
Right.
Your friend of over 30 years
Right.
says one bad throwaway joke that gets an overreaction.
And you fucking scorch earth the whole thing and just end it. I'm telling you, bro, that's like disingenuous as fuck. You use that to try to make yourself look better, and damn your homie, right? Like, good lord.
Like, have at least a bit of backbone and stick up for your friends.
Yeah.
A different person said the weird thing with cancelling the Tenacious D tour over a bad Trump joke tells me, yeah, dude cares more about money above all else now and will throw friends under the bus to maintain cash flow. The public no longer gave him the benefit of the doubt,
Jack Black is the ultimate sellout clown.
which began to impact his future movies. I remember a time when seeing Jack Black in a movie excited me. Now I skip it completely. Borderlands got 10% on Rotten Tomatoes and has been considered.
Oh god. Wait. This was a movie? They made a Borderlands movie? Did they really? I didn't know. I've never played Borderlands. But let me tell you something. Anything that has Kevin Hart, I'm not watching it. Because it's never good. Name one good Kevin Hart movie, guys. One. Name one good one. You can't. There's a couple of actors, bro, that whenever I see them in a movie, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not watching that, bro. Because anything that they're in, it's bad. Bro, there's this one female actress. And she's a good actress. It's just that for some reason, every show that she touches, I fucking hate it. I can't stand the show. And I can't remember her name. She's some Hispanic girl. She played on a show called Quantico. And bro, I was so excited for that show, but that show, I was just like, oh, this is bad. This sucks. This is so generic and boring and ugh. It's got no soul to it, no fucking nothing. It's just like bland. And that's what I feel about Kevin Hart as an actor. Bland as fuck, and he's a one note kind of thing. Jamie Lee Curtis, huh? Jesus Christ, they pull her out of a coffin? And I don't even know who the hell these other actors are. Homie in the Mask, I don't know, but that's definitely not Jack Black. That dude's got a six-pack. Mouse Girl, I don't know what that is. I don't know who this is. That shit probably sucks.
One of 2024's worst movies. On the Dear Santa trailer, people criticized Jack Black just jumping on every movie these days, and nothing showed this better than his casting as Steve. There are many reasons why Minecraft's trailer has already gained over 1 million dislikes, the main one being, according to Forbes, the appearance of...
They're making a Minecraft movie? Cool. Good. I don't know.
Jack Black as Steve, where he simply looks like everyday Jack Black in a blue shirt with his now signature wild hair and grey streaked beard. It's absolutely bizarre.
He's basically just playing Jack Black, but in a blue shirt. It looks like he rolled out of bed and they gave him this blue shirt instead. Alright, now you're Steve.
He could have said, "I am Jack Black," and it would have made zero difference. They gave Jack Black a blue shirt and called it a day. People joke that the director should have instead been cast as Steve, leading Jack Black to respond to the hate. I just think the backlash we're getting is ridiculous, especially from grown men who don't get that this movie isn't just for them. It's for a new generation, yet it seems
I don't care either way. Really? My question is, I never played Minecraft, bro, and I'll die before I play that game. I don't care. But what about Minecraft warranted a movie? Is there a story in that game? Is there a campaign? Are there quests? Storylines? Characters to follow? Characters to develop some kind of relationship or friendship with as far as dialogue or anything like that? Did Minecraft really need a movie? David, what's up? I don't know. I don't know what's in Minecraft. I know what it is. I know that it's a very lackluster looking ass game that seems generic as fuck, and for some ass reason it caught popularity and struck lightning in a bottle. Other than that, I can't see the appeal. That shit looks so fucking boring. I'd rather paint drywall than fucking play Minecraft. I'd rather cut grass than play Minecraft. I'd rather do physical manual construction labor than play Minecraft, bro. So like, what about the game warranted a movie? Is there anything in there worth putting into a movie that people would want to see? I thought it was just a whole bunch of garbage ass pixels just stacking things on top of one another. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know.
Seems the new generation don't want it either. My son is a Minecraft kid in elementary school. He told me that when they heard it was live action, all of his friends declared it was total trash. This doesn't even appeal to the target audience. As a result, Jack Black's rapidly losing followers on every social media. He pulled a Dwayne Johnson and became a soulless corporate husk of his former self, who plays the same character in each of the far too many terrible movies he's in.
I will say this.
It's not a day.
I will say this. I think he's a better actor than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I will say that. Jesus Christ. That dude's just not good. And like, the lines, I think it's just because he's huge, right? A lot of people think Kevin Hart's funny, but a big majority think he's funny just because he's small. And when it comes to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I think that people think that he can act just because he's so big, right? And he does that one thing with his eyebrow, right? That's not, I don't know, not to me anyway. What Professor Dave video is it? Finish the Professor Dave video. What do you mean? What's it called? And what's it about? It's an open world game where you can run around and build stuff. That's what Minecraft is. Yeah. No, the reason I moved on, David, it wasn't because you were there, it's just because I really didn't want to watch a video about vaccines. But since you're here, we'll do it. I'm just being honest, bro. Like I don't really care about videos about vaccines. That does not even seem any kinds of remotely interesting to me at all whatsoever. I mean, maybe like back in 2020, this video would have made a whole hell of a lot of sense to watch, but now, yo, the COVID game's over, right? That's just done. Or did we hit pause? Did we hit pause on COVID, or are we in halftime? Is it third quarter? Is it overtime? What's going on? COVID's over, bro. They got to like season 5, episode 4 of COVID, and then they canceled it. That's so like, I mean, you know. And I never really cared to begin with. Okay. I'm gonna go smoke before this starts. Oh, so give me a second. All right. I'm gonna go smoke. I think it's the only way. All right, back. Yeah, we can, Kevin, because it's shorter than this, so we might as well before we do this. David, I got you, bro. Let me do this Skyrim video first. It has other stuff that's not vaccines. I doubt it. I think you're just saying that, but there's other stuff that's not vaccines would be literally something that's not related to vaccines. Hey man, show request. We'll do it. Let me do this first because it is 7 times shorter. All right. Gen Alpha slang. What generation is Generation Alpha? Or does it just start over? Have we gone through all the generations already? It was Z, so do we start over from A? Here we go. Skyrim.
Hey, you. You're finally woke. You were trying to hop the border, right? Gridded right into that Imperial Mog, same as us. And that beta over there.
Phantom, you stormcucks. Skibidi was fine until you rizzed along. Simpire was chill AF.
Ew.
If you weren't Malding, I could have copped that whip and been halfway to Gunnerfell. You there, you and me. We shouldn't be here for real on gods. It's these stormcucks the Simpire wants.
We're all gooners and stepsisters and binds now, Rizzler.
Quit yapping back there!
And what's got bro down?
Check your vibes. You're yapping at Ulfric Stormcuck.
I hate everything about this, bro. I hate everything about this, but I can't look away.
True Short King.
Ulfric, the Sigma of Windhelm? You're the leader of the Rizbellion, but if they've copped you? On gods, where are they thug-shaking us?
I don't know. But Caecina awaits.
No, this is Cap. This must be Cap.
Hey, what goon cave are you from, Beta?
Why you doxing me, Chud?
A Rizzler's last thought.
Bro, this needs to be a try not to cringe video challenge. Fucking.
Should be of Ohio.
Redditstead. I'm from Redditstead.
General Tullius, sir. The throat goat is waiting.
Based. Let's get this ratioed.
Shapiro, Peterson, Jones, Tate, Adolf. Chuds, please help me.
I fucking hate this shit.
Look at it.
In both a good way and a bad way, if that makes sense. Man, god damn. My fucking little brother talks like this, dude. And I've just like heard so many. I hate that I know a lot of this shit. I hate it. Like, technically, Throat Goat belongs to us, man, my generation. I feel like y'all stole that one. I feel like y'all appropriated that one. I feel like we used that, but whatever. I'm willing to let it slide. There's like that. This is fucking rotten. Yeah, but it's brain. Whew, man, this is shit.
General Tullius, the military gooner. And it looks like the Thoughtmore are with him.
Oh my god.
Sussy elves. I bet they had something to do with this.
Wow. Yeah. Look at him.
This is bussin'. I used to riz up a gat from here. Wonder if Velod is still making that Grimace shake with prime berries maxed in. Funny. When I was a femboy, Simperial walls and towers used to make me feel so locked in.
That's when I turn off the game and I go back to Marvel Rivals. Right there. You lost me at femboy, bro. Don't matter the generation. Fuck out of here. I'm logging off. Go play Rivals or something.
Who are they, Daddy? What's wrong with their aura?
You need to goon inside, little cuck.
But why? I want to watch The Simps.
Get inside the cave. I'm being deadass.
Yes, Alpha.
Get these soy boys out of the carts! Yeet!
Why are we edging?
Why do you think? End of the grind. Let's go. Shouldn't keep the Chads waiting for us.
No, stop! We're not betas!
Beat your death with some aura, beta.
You've got to tell them we weren't sussy. This is Cap.
Gritty towards the block when we shill your OnlyFans. One at a time.
Simpire loves their Phantom lists.
Ulfric Stormcuck, Sigma of Windhelm.
It has been goated for real, Sigma Ulfric.
Faceloff of Glissywood.
Thank God this is almost over.
Brokir of Redditstead.
No, I'm not sturdy. You can't do this for real.
Deadass!
You're not gonna jelk me.
Poggers! Ooh. Oh. Anyone else feel like edging?
Wait, you there. Pull up.
Yo, that hit marker was clean. That was good. Oh, one more time. That was, yeah.
You're not gonna jelk me.
Poggers! Ooh. Anyone else feel like edging?
Wait, you there. Pull up.
Okay, I'll pull up.
Who am you?
Hey, it's CJ Mattis. Check out some of my other videos if you want.
Fuck no, not if they're like that. That was good, bad, ugly, terrible, and hilarious. All at the same time. I'd rather not. I feel like that should just be a one-time thing. Nice job, though. I like your sense of humor. But that's enough. You know? Good. I mean... he did one about Fallout, but... Todd Howard has meltdown during Elden Ring. Doesn't say. Audio leaks? Is that real, or is that just something he made? It's like, this is what his meltdown would have sounded like if it happened, right? Todd Howard. Good old Todd Howard, man. You gotta love that guy. You gotta love him 15 times the detail. You do? You gotta love him, man, because it just works. It just works. There's a part 2? Alright. If you're down to check out the part 2, I'll check out the part 2. David, thank you so much for the 5 gifted, my man. Thank you so much. That makes me feel so much better about watching that video on vaccines. We're gonna do it, man, I promise. How long is the part 2? Do you know? Is it just as long? About like 4 minutes? Let's read the comment section. So, dude, this is exactly how I feel right here. I'm disappointed in myself. Not because I didn't understand this video, but because I did. I understood this video. I understood most of the names that were used. Kai Cenat, Phantom, fucking, I know who the fuck they are. Not even because I watch them, man. It's just because, like, the algorithm just puts it in my feed. And I ain't gonna lie, man, sometimes there's like 1 or 2 videos that I see that like are kind of funny, right? And so I'll watch them and then I'll just skip off, right? And rarely watch anything else. But because I watched that little bit, the algorithm's like, it just keeps putting it in there and putting it in there. And I have a 13-year-old brother. So he speaks this way. And it drives me wild. He doesn't do it too much when he's around me just because he knows like how much it irritates me. But just like I hear him talking to his friends. And I just hear him talking to himself sometimes. And I just know, yeah, I hate that I know. I hate that I'm hip. Knowledgeable on it. Okay. Let's do that and then David will knock yours out. Imagine waking up from a coma and hearing people talk like this. Bro, it's almost like the movie Idiocracy. Let me see if anyone put that in the comments section. That's sort of the plot to Idiocracy. Thank you. Thank you. I knew someone was going to say it. Yeah. Dude. If I ever wake up one day and it just so happens that I end up in a courtroom and my attorney says, yo, Your Honor, that's cap, bro. And then the judge says, I don't think so, man. I think we're all good here. GG's, bro. I don't want to be alive anymore if that's ever the case. You know what I'm saying? That would be wild. Imagine that's where we go with the... Bro, you never know. You never know. Nobody thought we'd end up here. Right? But you never know. That'd be wild. If I ever found myself in that, just send me to jail. I might be better off in there, actually. Where's part 2? Ashley, what's good? How are you? Let me just click on his channel. Oh, dude, you know what's unfortunate? I kind of want to watch all of these. But it's stupid. It's so stupid. Oh. And it just makes me feel embarrassed for myself because I know what's happening. You know? Oh, here. Skyrim intro, Brain Rot 2. We are so back. All right. Let's see. Wait. You want to keep vibing from your last skibbed game? Skibbed? Dead ass? Nah, I'd quit. What the fuck? Here's some stuff that you didn't want and didn't ask for. You are welcome. Maybe we'll break mods for Skyrim as a flex of our power, just to remind you who's in charge. I don't even know if I could play a game like that. Like if this was actually the game, man. Brain Rot. This guy's great. CJ, you're great. Brain Rot Game Studios with the little gear icon. Okay. I like the detail, man.
Ulfric Stormcutt. Some soy boys dick ride you as some kind of alpha. But an alpha doesn't flex a power like voice mod to unalive his short king and cop his high chair. You started this beef, plunged Skibidi into chaos. And now the Simpire is going to put you on punishment and restore the ratio.
What the Sigma?
Ignore that obvious herald of the end times.
Yes, sir, Daddy Tullius. Lock in, Bible girl.
As we send your souls back to lobby, blessings of Raid Shadow Legends
For the
and
love of
Patreon
Kai, let's
subscriptions
just skip
upon
the ads and get this over with.
Oh no, was that El Riz? I practiced that in the mirror all morning, but okay.
I'm sorry, bro. That Raid Shadow Legends plug, that was just too fucking funny. Cause like, god damn, man. That's not even a generation thing, man. If you've been on the internet even 5 minutes, you've seen a fucking Raid Shadow Legends commercial. Oh, dude.
As we send your souls back to lobby, blessings of Raid Shadow Legends
For the
and
love of
Patreon
Kai, let's
subscriptions
just skip
upon
the ads and get this over with.
Oh no, was that El Riz? I practiced that in the mirror all morning, but okay.
My neck versus a headsman's axe? Nah, I'd win. My chat is pog-champing me, Imperial. Can you say the same?
There you go.
You Imperial F-slurs!
It's so nice of them to give him like a little bucket for his head to fall into, you know? That way he's not like hitting the dirt or rocks. Because it matters, right? Christian, it's good.
As racist on Alt as he was on Maine.
Next, the Chad and the Black Air Forces.
I had a house at your age.
Hurry this up. My DoorDash driver is around the corner.
Sorry, but you heard the girl boss. Gritty towards the block.
I said right foot.
Very clean.
Walking with it.
On your knees, prisoner. And arch your back while you're at it.
What the Sigma is that?
The music.
Chat, is this real?
A dragon?
Wait, that's no ordinary dragon.
It's a boomer!
School was uphill both ways.
Run before they ask us how to install something!
Oh my god! You said run before they ask us how to install something. Oh, dude, yeah. The old people showed up. Shit, it's over for you now. Uphill both ways. I'm sorry. Wait, we gotta start that back from the beginning. And the music that's playing as the dragon flies in.
Sigma's that? Chat, is this real?
A dragon?
Wait, that's no ordinary dragon.
It's a boomer!
School was uphill both ways.
Run before they ask us how to install something!
Quit sticking out your fiat, Chad Elf. We got the dip. Now!
Let's say.
We got the dip.
Use left stick to haul ass.
Now!
Haul ass to the teeth.
That thing was a boomer, no cap. I could peep the mothballs and the smell of lead paint. I thought they were all retired.
Yes, but their bitch moaning and complaining never retires.
I'ma head out. Got plenty enough ops as it is.
All this dragon fire is hot AF. Let me turn down the thermostat real quick.
Hands off the thermostat!
Chad Elf, is your Stanley Cup still unscuffed?
Lead cups are durable.
iPad kid, get away from that boomer.
You'll never retire.
This shit is Delulu!
This shit's what?
Music was better.
Dude. Yo, the boomer dragon coming in here on some petty shit. He's just about to destroy everything because fuck your generation. Mine was better. Oh, I don't know what the fuck Delulu means though. Is that like crazy? If someone's delusional, they're crazy. So that would that mean like shit's Delulu, son? Does that mean like shit's crazy? I don't fucking know.
kid! Get away from that boomer!
You'll never retire.
This shit is Delulu.
Music was better back in my day. This shit ain't music.
iPad kid! Take care of this bald head-ass Gen Xer! He's no boomer.
Yo, if you wanna take care of this boomer dragon, just start playing some fucking start playing some Playboy Cardi. That'll do it, bro. He's fucking gone. Yeah, he's out. He hears that shit. That's just like nails on a chalkboard. He won't even be able to think. Rendered powerless. Just fucking. Like when Batman shot those fucking 2 hypersonic beams at Superman in BVS. Remember that? And Superman's just like, hold on now. Right? I remember that shit? Play some Playboy Cardi. That really will do it, because like he said, music was better. And what y'all listen to, that shit ain't music, bro. That's just a really good beat with someone that's on a spectrum on the lyrics. Really, I don't know what y'all are saying.
Music.
iPad kid! Take care of this bald head-ass Gen Xer! He's no boomer, deadass. Not gonna lie, prisoner. Running for your life is some good cardio.
My wife puts in her mouth guard when dinner is burned.
Why are you teabagging that corpse?
Trying to get sponsored by Lipton's. Let's move!
Lipton's tea.
This boomer dragon is attacking Bussin.
What?
Face lock, you damn gooner! Out of my way!
We're escaping, Chadvar.
Fine. I hope that boomer takes you all to Ohio.
Damn. Ohio's pretty shit. You don't want to go there.
Chadvar seems like he understands the assignment.
I think they were eating dogs there at one point.
Looks like we're the only Chads who locked in. Was that deadass a boomer for real? The siphons of Social Security? We've got to keep mewing. Come here, let me see if I can cut that cheap Etsy bracelet off. Now peep around for some shit to end their mewing streaks with. Lock in, bro. We could have hit the gym, but we finna hit these ops instead.
I already... Okay.
Yo, hold on. What did it say? I'm out.
Okay.
Press M1 to swing on a bitch. Hold M1 to mollywop. Yeah, I'm sorry, but swing on a bitch and mollywop, I feel like those belong to us too. Mollywop? Hell, I don't even think that belongs to us. I think that belongs to my dad's generation. That's some old ass shit. Mollywop? Oh, mollywop you hear, see? Right? Like, I don't even think we said that. But swing on a bitch is universal. I don't think that belongs to any kind of generation. Like, even back in Shakespeare times. Thy swingeth on a bitch. Right? So, I don't know.
Run their pockets, Chad Elf. We can flip those size 9s on Marketplace.
Men never cry.
Said fake Gucci what? Fake Gucci boots.
Men never cry. They get drunk and angry.
Should we try rizzing them up?
End of the grind!
All right, fuck it, we ball.
Fuck it, we ball. Alright.
Prime energy in these barrels, if you want to cop it.
Me and my friends say fuck it, we ride, but that was good too.
Don't like Prime. Might stain my Stanley.
What?
Dummy torture chamber.
Oh shit.
Wish we didn't have to have these.
As long as it's consensual. What someone does with a spare hour is none of my business.
Right.
Torture? Well, it very often isn't consensual.
Based. If you want to free that cuck, try picking the lock to his cage.
Seems simple enough. Almost got it.
That's not the cuck cage I was referring to.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Wait, I'm pregnant!
Oh shit. Not anymore. He gave me that hands-on abortion.
Webs everywhere. Pray we don't peep any spiders of the large-ass variety. Not gonna lie, I deadass thought there'd be a spider or two in here.
I think there's gonna be.
Oh no.
I think I may have played up to this
Chadvar,
point.
I don't think this stuff is webbing.
And then I got my ass whipped by a whole bunch of spiders. I think.
It's a two-handed skill book for you? Impressive. We dungeon maxed, my guy. Why don't you do the honors?
I bet. Oh, that's gonna be problematic.
No! This must be Cap! On gods! Look what Mulduin did to those twin towers! Look! A second Mulduin is hitting the south tower. By the 9! Skibidi is under attack! F in chat! F in chat for Skibidi! Alright, let's post this on the gram, then hit the gym.
Dude, that's one that I don't think younger kids will understand. Really. At least if they haven't hit history, if they haven't hit like high school history yet. I don't know, do they teach 9/11 in middle school? I don't know, man. Because that shit happened when I was in middle school, so it wasn't really, they didn't have to teach us. We just remembered it, really. But today, when do they start teaching 9/11? I feel like some kids are completely unaware of 9/11. I feel like some kids are completely unaware of like a lot of shit. 9/11, Pearl Harbor, the atomic bombs. Like, they just don't know. So I feel like only older people would have gotten that joke right there. Not so much the younger crowd. That was clean though. I like the 9/11 fucking, that's not easy to do 9/11 jokes and have them be tasteful, and I like this one. This one was good. Some don't make sense, some are stupid, but
Oh, that's gonna be problematic.
No! This must be Cap! On gods! Look what Mulduin did to those twin towers! Look! A second Mulduin is hitting the south tower.
And I love how it actually, I love the, maybe this was attention to detail, maybe it's just the way that he did it, but I like how he didn't actually show the first Malden hitting the first tower. Because in real life, when 9/11 happened, nobody saw the first plane hit. There was like that one footage from down below on the street, but other than that, the first plane wasn't captured by anyone. But the second plane was captured by the whole fucking world, right? So maybe that was attention to detail, maybe that wasn't, but I don't know. It makes sense, because like no one saw the first plane hit outside of, you know, y'all remember that street level view where there's like a policeman and like what looks to be like a construction worker, and then all of a sudden they just like look up and it happens? That's like the only footage, man. But as far as like the rest of the world, no one actually saw the first plane live, right? As they did the second one. I like that little detail there.
Twin towers! Look! A second Mulduin is hitting the south tower. By the 9! Skibidi is under attack. F in chat! F in chat for Skibidi! Alright, let's post this on the gram, then hit the gym.
Let's drink to our youth, for the days come and gone, for the age of obsession is still...
Man, that was good. That's really good. And I think that I'm going to subscribe to this guy, and we should definitely watch more. Because I would love to see Dark Knight. Oh, it's only a minute and a half? Shame. But fuck it, I played Halo Reach, we could do that. Oh, good. You gotta fix that, bro. You gotta make that Dark Knight one like, I don't know, 10 minutes. Allowed. I hate when my bank sends me shit. It always makes me feel like there's a problem, but it's just a notification about fucking tax season. I hate when my bank contacts me because that just makes me feel like there's a problem. Fucking notification. I don't need those notifications. I understand. Okay, well, yeah. Let me get to David's, and then if we have time, we'll do Halo Reach. You seen it on video? What'd you see on video? By the way, Ashley, Michelle, Kat, Christian. I don't know if I said hello to any of you, but what's up? I'm sorry. I used to think Megatron was an asshole when he said humans don't deserve to live. Bro, you'd be surprised. I don't know if it comes with age or something like that, but I don't know, man. As I've gotten older, I've started to agree with the bad guy a whole hell of a lot more, right? Like Thanos, for instance. I'm just like, I mean, it's fair, man. It's 50-50, and it's indifferent. The rich, poor, doesn't matter, right? And I don't know, man. Sometimes the bad guy makes a point, and you're just like, you know what, man? I kind of fucks with you on that. Yes, actually, even if they're just maniacs, right? But sometimes the bad guy be making a little bit of sense. All right, David, you still in here? We're gonna check this. What was it? Put it, dog. Hi, Sean. Just type it in, Professor. I couldn't see it on the list. I'm tired of looking. I got it. Debunking COVID-19 conspiracies. How did he even get away with uploading that video? And this was 4 years ago. This was like in the thick of COVID at its height. How did you even get away with posting that? Because if you said anything on the fucking internet that disagreed with anything what they were saying, that was just like they straight up took it off. That's wild.
Skin or inhaling up the.
Okay. This is where we left off. I'm not going to rewatch the first 3 minutes. I kind of remember. He's just going over vaccine. Really. It's been good. Actually. Nothing really to complain about, nothing really to brag about either. It's just been. I hope your day's been good though.
recognized immunity as a concept, since we were able to see that people usually didn't get infected by the same thing twice. That's why crude forms of immunization have been practiced for over 1,000 years, like a technique called variolation, which was used to fight smallpox.
Dude, chickenpox, once you get chickenpox, you'll never get them again, right? Right? I think so. Like, you get chickenpox once, you'll never get it again, even if you come in contact with someone that has it. I think that's the case, if I remember correctly. Because I had chickenpox as a kid, and never had chickenpox again.
In which people were deliberate.
Unless there was a vaccine for chickenpox at the time. I can't remember. I just remember having it, and then it went away, and then I never got it again.
Exposed to someone else's smallpox scabs through a cut in the skin or inhaling up the nose. But this was really just infecting oneself with smallpox, and it was a risky procedure with a significant mortality rate.
Because you're making yourself sick so that your body can develop the right tools and weaponry to fight this sickness the next go round. That's called your immune system. That's what that does. That's what it's supposed to do. Yeah. So I guess that's how they did it. I mean, that's how kind of we still do it today, really, right? When you get the flu shot, they're just injecting you with the flu. And then your body fights that shit off very, very easily, especially if you get it year round, right? I don't know. I haven't gotten a flu shot in fucking forever. I know kids got to get them and shit, but
Then, in the 18th century, a man named Edward Jenner innovated this approach. He used a slight variant of the smallpox virus called the cowpox virus, which was not as dangerous, and exposed patients to that instead, finding that it bestowed them with immunity against smallpox as well. He had no idea what viruses even were, let alone that this worked because of the structural similarity of the two viruses, which caused antibodies to be generated that would recognize both viruses.
Wow, talk about playing with fire, man. This is actually worse than playing with fire. You can put out a fire with water. If you start a fucking pandemic, bruh, because you don't even know what you're like he just said, he didn't even know he was dealing with. He didn't even know what this was. He was using it on people. Damn. Wild times back then, man.
Thus priming the immune system for smallpox infection without having to be infected with smallpox. But even without this knowledge, the new vaccination technique worked wonderfully with a substantially lower risk of mortality, and it was soon adopted worldwide, eventually leading to the complete eradication of smallpox by 1980.
Nice.
So,
homie took a chance and it ended up working.
with this earliest example, we can see the basic mechanism by which all vaccines operate. Over time, the approach was refined, but the core principle was always the same. Expose the immune system to some particle. This could be a weaker analog of a deadly virus. It could be an attenuated version of the virus, meaning that it is modified so that it has difficulty infecting and replicating within cells. It could even be just the isolated surface protein that the virus uses to gain entry to cells. Once any of these things enter the bloodstream, the immune system goes through the slow process of...
Aside from COVID, what vaccines have y'all gotten over the course of your life? So obviously, when I was a kid, I had to get the flu shot. Every kid has to get them, right? Outside of that, after high school, what shots did you get? Did y'all get any at all? I was in the service at one point, so I had to get. Well, where is it? I think it's on my left side. Yeah, I had to get a smallpox shot that left a scar. I also had to get an anthrax shot. I also had to get like 3 other shots that were vaccine related that they just pumped into my fucking body. I never got the COVID vaccine. So outside of that, man, if it really hasn't been over the counter or something that you can just like buy at CVS or like Walgreens, then I ain't taking it. I ain't taking it, and I haven't taken it. So you got the HPV one? Yeah, well, HPV, that's just for females. Well, it mainly affects the human papillomavirus. Yeah, the men are carriers of HPV, but I don't think it affects us like it does y'all. For females, that's important for females. For us dudes, I don't really think it affects us like it affects y'all.
of the primary immune response. And then, if that pathogen is ever truly encountered, the body is already prepared to destroy it immediately via antibodies and the secondary immune response, doing so before infection can even occur. Obviously,
have you guys ever seen microscopic footage of white blood cells fighting a virus? Yo, that shit looks like a straight up fucking war. Like if you zoomed in a lot, it would look like just a cat. It looks like a fucking war zone. Shit is going ham. It's going down. It's crazy.
this was the ultra-condensed explanation, and with some knowledge of biochemistry and microbiology, we could talk for 1,000 hours about what we just said, but at its essence, that's what vaccines do. And this is no small feat. The average life expectancy across the world was only around 30, all the way until the turn of the 20th century. The main factor in this figure more than doubling in less than a century is our recent ability to prevent infection with vaccines and eradicate pathogens with modern drugs. Okay, so with that out of the way, what are some of the talking points that are brought up against vaccines and their use? Well, let's start with the most absurd narrative I've heard. And from a scientific standpoint, that would be outright denial that pathogens like viruses even exist at all. That's right. Some people say that infectious microorganisms are not real.
But we've observed them via a fucking microscope. What are you talking about? Whatever.
This is astounding.
This isn't my job. This is Professor Dave's job. Let's hear him do it.
Astounding. We've been able to see bacteria in microscopes since the 17th century, and we've been looking at viruses in electron microscopes since the early 20th century.
What, you think we just made this shit up? No, we didn't make this shit up, because I remember being in biology class in fucking high school, and our teacher told us to fucking take, she gave us all toothpicks, and she's like, take the toothpick, put it in your mouth, and rub the side of your mouth. Whatever is on that toothpick, take it, put it on the little sliding glass, and examine it. And bro, the amount of living things that I saw in this one little sample that was inside my fucking mouth, it was like a whole fucking city. It was like a whole village of just living things that were moving and shit, and had life, and had their own plans. Maybe even had a schedule that day, right? So, shut the fuck up.
There are tens of thousands of people all over the world whose job it is to study these things. They're called microbiologists and virologists, and the things they study do exist.
Virologists are also people that draw your blood, I think. Or is that lobotomists? I can't remember. No, phlebotomists. They all work with blood, just in different ways.
A slight modification of this view is that viruses exist, but they don't cause disease. Again, this is complete nonsense. We observe them. We culture them, which means allowing them to infect cells and multiply. We study in great detail the precise mechanisms by which they gain access to a cell and force that cell to express the viral.
Is that where they just remove your uterus? Sorry for being so blunt about it, but isn't that what it is? At least I think that's what a hysterectomy is. I don't know.
Genome. We have sequenced the genomes of all the viruses we study. We know what protein each gene codes for and what each protein does. We deliberately allow things called retroviruses to infect cells to perform medical techniques like gene therapy. We know what viruses are and how they work. The most damaging pusher of this lie as of late has been a psychiatrist turned naturopath named Andrew Kaufman. He is one of many personalities that has gained traction on YouTube by peddling blatant lies of an absurd nature, like that appendicitis is actually constipation. He maintains that the coronavirus which causes COVID does not exist, nor do the viruses that cause AIDS, hepatitis, measles, and other viral diseases. He claims that what scientists are observing are actually exosomes, or tiny vesicles ejected from a cell that are of human origin and contain human DNA. There is nothing to even discuss here. That is wrong.
Exactly. I don't even know, like, you know how, like, when you learn something in school, there's usually a follow-up question, right? Like when they talk to you about XX chromosomes and you're like, oh, what other chromosomes are there? XY, right? But with what that guy just said, I don't even know what to ask. He claims that viruses are actually exosomes. Okay, I could ask you what an exosome is, but...
Or tiny vesicles ejected from a cell that are of human origin and contain human DNA. There is nothing to even discuss here. That is wrong.
Basically just told me what exosome was, but that's...
COVID is caused by a novel coronavirus. Some say it has never been isolated. That's wrong. It's trivial to isolate and has been done countless times. Its genome has been sequenced, which again is trivial. Some like to say that viruses don't exist because they don't fulfill Koch's postulates. Well, Robert Koch didn't know that viruses exist, and his postulates don't apply universally. They've been obsolete for over a century. Even Koch himself recognized that not everyone who carried bacterial infections like typhoid fever or cholera exhibited symptoms, so there were immediate caveats to his postulates, and they are now known to be essentially irrelevant in comparison with modern sequencing techniques. Without diving into the particulars of microbiology, people who bring up Koch's postulates to discredit the existence of viruses do not know what those postulates are and are just regurgitating a lie they heard on the internet.
What are the benefits of the people who try to deny the existence of... Bro, this is just another weird fucking community that basically mirrors the flat earthers. You know, those fucking people, they think the world's flat. This is literally the same thing, but in just a different area of science, microbiology, and they think that viruses don't exist. I want to know what levels of boredom one has to go through to... Tyler, what's good? How are you? Hope you're having a good Friday. I wonder what levels of boredom one must go through to be like, you know what? I think that today I'm changing it up, man. Shaking and baking. I think today I believe that viruses don't exist, and I'm going to try to explain that to people and make them believe me. I don't know what the end goal is here, but this is wild. Yo, what are you playing? After this stream, I plan on playing some Marvel Rivals with my homie. And then 2 weeks from now, I plan on playing some Monster Hunter Wilds, which is gonna eat up a lot of my time. But that was just a quick little rant too. I'll let Dave continue. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. This is just a whole bunch of delusional fuckers in a separate area of science.
It can't be made clearer that Kaufman has zero knowledge of microbiology and is just another con man cashing in on the anti-science alt-health craze. For a multitude of psychological and social...
Yeah, dude, because you have so many people out there that are like fucking like hypochondriacs and shit, and they hear something like this, and they're just like easily manipulated. Kind of like that one person that has a headache and goes to the internet and finds a motherfucker like this. All of a sudden now they think they're dying. They got to go to the ER. They need to be in the ICU. They need 50 cc's of morphine and shit. And it's just like, bruh, you just have a headache. You need to calm the fuck down. And people like this, they pretty much prey on those people. The easily manipulated and the kind of dumb. Or just the ones that refuse to actually just look up shit for themselves, man. Or just maybe even have a shred of... I have a PC in Rust. CSGO. But I can't be asked being in my gaming chair right now. Well, you play Rust? One thing that I like to do... You talking about Rust the game, right? The survival game? I have a what's the term I'm looking for? I have a secret love that not a lot of people know. Sometimes there's a specific Rust creator that I watch, and all he does is He goes from server to server banning cheaters. And his name is Komomo. And I love this guy. And I love watching him ban and troll cheaters. I don't play Rust. Not really a game for me. I don't really have the time for it. That's a big commitment of a game. But boy, do I love watching him ban some fucking cheaters, bro. And I just be doing that on my free time. And I just be like, man, I can't believe I just watched like a whole hour video on a game that I don't even play. But it's just so much fun. I love seeing cheaters get fucked with. It makes my day. Because fuck you. I hate people like you. Fuck ass cheaters. I loved watching Soup. I haven't watched him in a while, but yo, he did play Rust too. I saw one of his Rust videos. He also trolls and shit like that. Oh, he gets called more than fat, bro. They be calling him like pedophile and shit, and like always trying to, you know, get in his stream so they can scream the N-word and shit. He just be dealing with a whole bunch of dumb shit. But hey, that's what it be. That's what it be. I love watching him though.
Sociological reasons, a huge portion of the population responds favorably to literally any narrative which states that science and Western medicine are wrong. It doesn't matter who is saying it or what their qualifications are. It doesn't matter what their motives are or what they're selling, which, by the way, for Kaufman is outrageously expensive.
Get a personalized health consultation for $750? Yo, couldn't you just buy medical insurance and you're good? What are people going to get from you for $750 that they can't get from their own doctor that they pay monthly insurance payments to have? What's it called? Your PMO, your primary medical provider? What it's called something, bro, but you're scamming people. You're scamming people, and on top of that, you're giving them inaccurate information. Welcome to the concept of authentic medicine, the way nature intended for you to heal. Yeah, so fuck all those IVs, man, and fuck chemotherapy, and fuck physical therapy, and fuck antibiotics, and fuck that naproxen, and fucking fuck that ibuprofen, and fuck that inflammatory medicine. Nah, you give me $750 and I'll teach you all the ways on how to heal without doing any of that shit. Bro, get out of my face. No. Stop it. And I have epilepsy. What are you going to do for me? Huh? What could you do for me? Huh? Just give me some bullshit ass fucking mantra that I say to myself? Give me some little yin yang balls to play with?
Expensive natural health consultations and an assortment of bogus products plastered all over his website. A certain demographic of people will eat up any narrative of this variety like candy because it's...
And I feel like it's the same kind of people that go to those mega churches. You know what I'm talking about? Where miracles are performed every single day, seemingly. You know what I'm talking about. You know what the fucking Joel Osteens and the fucking... You know what I'm saying. The same people that...
satiates their anti-establishment bias. I won't go too far with this because it deserves a whole video unto itself, but Kaufman and all others in his camp are objectively wrong. Viruses exist, and they cause disease. Denying the germ theory of disease is like denying the existence of gravity or claiming the earth is flat.
See, it's the same kind of people, they're just in a different part of... And that sucks too, doesn't it? You know, I bet you different parts of science, like astrophysics and geology and fucking paleontology, I bet you they were all happy as hell. They were like, man, I'm so glad we don't have any weird fuckers in our business trying to make our life harder, like the flat earthers are making for... Actually, what part of science would flat earth... Do flat earthers threaten? Can't really remember. I think it's just physics. They threaten physics. Flat earthers threaten everything about physics. And I bet you a lot of these other sciences, they were like, oh, thank God we're not getting fucked with. Thank God there's no group of fucking morons that are making our life annoying. That's not the case anymore. That's not the case anymore. Bro, it's like a sickness. It's spreading. It's spreading.
It deserves nothing but mockery. Moving up the ladder, we leave the realm of outright denial of reality to chemophobia. There are many people who understand that
I don't know what chemophobia is.
Pathogens exist and do cause disease, and that vaccines do work in preventing diseases. But they take issue with what's inside the vaccine. To them, it's a soup of nasty chemicals that Big Pharma has concocted, either intending deliberate harm or merely indifferent to its harmful properties. This sentiment is called vaccine hesitancy, and it has a long history, so I want to spend some time here. Now, although there are many talking points to address, the modern anti-vaccine movement received a huge boost due to a British physician named Andrew Wakefield. In the 1990s,
I always thought that you just got vaccines as a kid, and then you grew up into an adult, and you stopped taking vaccines. Unless some crazy shit happens. And even then, you don't even have to take it if you don't want to. Right? That's how I always thought it went. Kids get vaccines. They grow into adults and no longer need vaccines because their body's fully developed and they're already immune to everything that could quite possibly fuck with them outside of something like COVID or the bubonic plague or, you know, whatever, some shit like that. Actually, not that happened way too long ago. But what's something recent? Ebola, right? You know, so that's always how I thought it went. I don't know how it went for you guys, but
many parents with children who had developed autism-related syndromes felt that a vaccine was responsible. There was, of course, no real basis for this. It was just a gut feeling from scientifically uneducated people looking for something to blame. But the narrative picked up steam, and it attracted a number of personal injury lawyers who began circling like sharks, ready to exploit the fury and make some money. A lawyer named Richard Barr knew he could cash in if he could get someone qualified to provide some evidence for this link, so he found a gastroenterologist who had already published something on this hypothesis, Wakefield, and paid him about £500,000 to produce a study that would give him the green light to sue. Wakefield got to work, and in 1998 he published a study in The Lancet claiming that the MMR vaccine, which inoculates against measles, mumps, and rubella, is linked to a number of gastric disorders and autism. Immediately after publication,
I mean, how can you even say that though? Because naturally, kids get vaccines from the earliest of ages, man. From the time they come out of the womb, they are getting poked and prodded, man. Vaccines and shots and stuff of that nature, right? But does autism manifest immediately? How long into your kid's life do you know that they have autism? Is it 1 year into their life? Is it 2 years into their life? Is it 3, 4, 5? Or is it different with every single person that has autism? At what point in your life do your parents realize, I think my kid's on a spectrum, right? You were born with it? Okay, see, so dude, to blame the medication, maybe at the time they didn't know too much about autism. So maybe that has something to do with it. But there were kids that took the vaccine and are perfectly fine. And they're at the same age that these kids that now have autism, like, I don't know. So it's just like, how can you say it's the medication when this kid, parents found out he had autism when he was 1. This kid, parents found out he had autism when he was 6, right? How long does it take for that shit to manifest? Or is it just something that manifests immediately, or something that it just like, it takes 1 or 2 years as the kid is developing? Because you can't expect to see results from a child immediately after birth. They're just a lump on a log, man. That's it. They don't really do much. You can't really tell anything. They're just goo goo gaga. That's it. But some time has to go by for you to even notice if they're there, right? But by the time they get there, they've already had these shots. So you're looking at a matter of coincidence, really, at the end of the day. So, I don't know.
He called a press conference suggesting that instead of inoculating against all three at once, a series of separate vaccines should be adopted, including one for measles, which he had conveniently filed a patent for and neglected to disclose. But much more importantly, the study itself was completely fraudulent. It had only 12 subjects, making it statistically meaningless. And furthermore, all 12 children involved in the study were clients of Richard Barr, some of whom were known to be autistic prior to receiving the MMR vaccine. Wakefield also heavily...
So the experiment was biased and it was skewed in one direction, obviously, but yeah, that's stupid. You can't use that.
He manipulated all of the data. So essentially, the law firm funded the research with the intended results in mind, paid Wakefield to do it, and then paid off a handful of other researchers in the US and UK to support the findings. Other studies were never able to replicate the results of Wakefield's study, and even proved conclusively that there is no link between the MMR vaccine and autism. So the fraudulent study was later retracted, but it was too late. Barr and Wakefield had already initiated a media frenzy, which was perpetuated by a handful of incompetent celebrities, and the damage had been done, with a resurgence of measles outbreaks that led to a number of deaths.
So, you jackasses basically got people killed. Really? Y'all said, this shit is causing autism. And people out there listened to the wrong fucking person or were duped by the wrong fucking person. And they decided to opt out of this shot because of what it does. And then they don't get the shot. And what the shot is preventing fucks with them now because they didn't get the shot and they die. Kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing, really, but that's why you should listen to medical professionals. And
there was eventually some justice, as years later an investigative journalist named Brian Deer wrote up a story in the British Medical Journal outlining what I've just told you in much more detail, exposing the scam from top to bottom. Wakefield sued the journal and Deer himself, but the lawsuits were dismissed, and he was disbarred from the British Society of Medicine.
Haha.
With no more professional life left in Britain, he moved to the US and became the hero of the American anti-vaccine movement, treated as a martyr instead of the detestable villain he truly is. He now lives a lavish lifestyle with his girlfriend, former supermodel Elle Macpherson, giving high-priced talks on expensive cruises to gullible rich people. He is also responsible for the pseudo-documentary Vaxxed, in which he doubles down on all the fraudulent science surrounding the MMR vaccine.
Never even gave this a second thought. I think I saw this pop up somewhere on Netflix or something. And I'd rather rub peanut butter on my nuts and let my dog lick it off than watch any of this shit. Even if it says shit I agree with,
but this time aimed at suggestible laypeople, amounting to blatant propaganda to fuel his cash cow. Wakefield is a con man, plain and simple. So that's the short and sweet version of the whole vaccines autism link and how the myth got started. Word. Vaccines do not cause autism. Full stop.
I mean, you didn't have to explain that to me. I pretty much came to that conclusion all by myself. Well, not all by myself. Just listening to the right people pretty much did it for me. But, you know, most of us knew that. I would like to think that most of us knew that. And I would like to think that it is most and not just some. Because that's just discouraging, really. That just means that there's more retards than I actually thought.
Period. But what exactly is in vaccines, and can anything in them cause some other kind of harm? Let's talk about specific ingredients and what people say about them. First,
I feel like I've put worse shit in my body than a vaccine, but that's just me.
Anti-vaxxers talk about mercury. This is because of a compound called thimerosal, which was sometimes used as a preservative in vaccines, meaning a substance that prevents contamination. Thimerosal has a mercury atom in it, and this is often cited in the context of the autism link. This lie preys on ignorance towards basic principles of chemistry. Elemental mercury is rather toxic due to its ability to inhibit important enzymes. This does not apply equally to every molecule that simply contains a mercury atom. These are very different things. Molecules that contain one or more atoms of a particular element do not behave like that element in isolated form. Otherwise, one would presume that any carbon-containing compound, like, say, sugar, must be a diamond.
Yeah, no.
Toxicity is complex and impossible to understand without discussing how molecules interact with proteins in the body.
And especially when they break down and just interact with one another, it's gonna be different.
Simply looking at which elements are present in a molecule tells you nothing whatsoever about what that molecule will do. Most organic compounds are made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Those 4 elements, plus a couple others, combine in different ways to make up most of what's in your body and most of what we eat. They also make up the most toxic compounds in existence. The single most toxic compound known is the botulinum toxin, which is a naturally occurring protein.
Isn't that what's in our stomach that basically breaks down our food?
Produced by the bacterial species Clostridium botulinum, with a gram of it being enough to kill 10 million people. And as it is a protein, it is made of the same elements as literally every other protein. Consider an even simpler
I guess he's not going to say what, alright.
Example. Sodium is a highly combustible metal that ignites spontaneously when exposed to moisture and causes severe irritation upon contact with the skin. Chlorine is a yellow toxic gas that was used as a chemical weapon in World War I. Put them together and what do you get? Sodium chloride, table salt. Identifying the elements present in a compound does not tell you what it will do. Those who do not understand basic chemical principles like this are therefore easy to scare. Propagandists will say of thimerosal, hey, there's mercury in this, and mercury is toxic, so this...
Yeah, that's... I understand, but it's... I'm not smart enough to explain why I understand, but I understand. It's chemistry, man. But when you combine something, it's going to make something else. If you take something away, it's going to make something else. It's cause and effect, really. And you have to know what these things do. Just because it might seem like it's toxic, you combine it with something else, and it's fucking amazing. Right? Take peanut butter, for example. If you combine it with mayonnaise, it's probably fucking disgusting. But if you combine it with bread and jelly, it's fucking incredible. You know what I'm saying? It's like a very basic explanation, but it's kind of the same fucking thing. And if you're not a chemist, you won't understand. I'm not a chemist either, but I understand this concept. I don't know how you couldn't. It's so easy.
This is toxic. Well, there isn't elemental mercury in there, just like there isn't oxygen gas or diamonds. It's a compound with a mercury atom in it, and in the minuscule amount present in any vaccine, it is harmless. Countless studies have confirmed this. Some will compare it not to elemental mercury, but methyl mercury, which can be dangerous in large doses, and is the source of mercury poisoning from seafood. Thimerosal does produce some ethyl mercury in solution, but the
Speaking of fucking fish, I don't know if this was... I think this is true, but I think that's what lipstick is made out of. Fish scales. Really. From what I heard back in the day. And that could explain the smell of lipstick. I think lipstick smells fucking disgusting. I don't know why they haven't done anything to this day to make it smell better for the ladies that do wear lipstick. Fucking gross, man. It was like a fucking crayon.
Toxicity of ethyl mercury is nowhere near that of methyl mercury or elemental mercury. It is cleared from the body much more rapidly, and at the concentrations that had been present in vaccines, it was completely negligible. We must be aware that literally everything is toxic in high enough dosage, so to discuss toxicity without talking about concentration is totally misguided, particularly when humans are exposed to comparable amounts of mercury in breast milk, formula, and common foods we all eat. Since the Wakefield incident, dozens of studies—
I don't know what those foods are. I can't even remember. What, you said tuna has some mercury in it? Wouldn't sardines have mercury in them as well? I kind of feel like they do. You see that can they come in? Literally a fucking fish can that you pull open, looks straight from like fucking 1970s or some shit. That's got— I think that might have lead. To be honest, bro. Like, some of those sardine cans be looking sketchy as fuck.
These have been performed by a multitude of reputable institutions, comprised of millions of children, in stark contrast to Wakefield's 12, all failing to establish any correlation between autism and thimerosal, or the MMR vaccine in general. Despite all this, thimerosal has since been removed from most vaccines.
How do you explain people having autism before vaccines were a thing? Surely autism predates any vaccine, right? Can anyone pinpoint the origin of autism? I don't think so, man. But I'm pretty sure that autism predates any kind of vaccine. So how could you even think that? Like, surely hundreds of years ago there was somebody, there had to have been somebody that had autism before these things were even invented. At least I believe that to be the case. I don't think that autism just sprouted up one day. I think it's always been there. And we're just more knowledgeable about it. We're just more knowledgeable about it now. But I feel like Einstein was autistic. See what the fuck I'm talking about, man? I wanted to say him, but I didn't want to be wrong and speak out of my ass. I just, in my head, my opinion, autism predates any kind of medicine. I feel like it's always been there. Autism isn't something just popped up fucking yesterday, popped up 20 years ago, 30 years ago. No, it's always been there, bro. It's just for a while we didn't know it was there. We didn't know what it was. We didn't even know it was a thing. For probably a long time ago, people probably just thought you were weird. Probably thought we were witches. I mean, I didn't want to go that far, David, but whatever. Yeah.
Largely due to a switch towards single-dose vials that—
Larger fish that eat smaller fish usually have high mercury, I think. I didn't know that.
Do not require preservatives, but also partially to comply with the public frenzy. As has been the case for quite some time by now, all vaccines routinely used on children below the age of 6 in the US do not contain thimerosal. Not surprisingly, there has been no change in the frequency of autism diagnoses as a result, and there is no difference in prevalence of autism amongst immunized and unimmunized because there is no link. The rise—
Some people also— I heard one crazy person one time, maybe they were just telling the truth, bro, and we just thought he was crazy. There was this one guy one time that tried to make a link between autism and drinking water. Because what is it that they say that's in our drinking water? They try to use it as a scare tactic all the time. Is it not chlorine? It's— what do they try to say that's in the drinking water? Fucking can't remember. I heard this is like a scare tactic. It's in the drinking water. It's fucking makes people docile and fucking it's this and that and it's mind control and they taking over with the water. What was it? Fluoride? You might be right. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Sure. Who knows, bro? Who knows?
Rise in autism cases since the 1980s is simply due to an increased attentiveness and capacity to diagnose autism in the first place, whereas prior to that time, autistic individuals were just regarded as weird.
That's literally what I just fucking said. I'm not even a doctor. I'm not Professor Dave. I gathered that all by myself.
Autism does not—
That's why it's just like some of these people—
in any way resemble symptoms of mercury poisoning. It is primarily genetic in nature, and vaccines don't cause it. End of story. Now, of course, it doesn't end with thimerosal. What else is in there? Well, according to some, there is aborted fetal tissue in vaccines. This is ridiculous. There has never ever been any vaccine with aborted fetal tissue as an ingredient. Some vaccines...
Because I would never take it. Then again, I didn't really have a choice when I was in the service, which is the last time I got any kind of shots. If y'all are gonna make shit up, can you at least make it believable? There's no way. And it...
require growing a particular virus in a human cell culture, and the cell lines that have produced these cultures came from...
And how do you get the... yeah, the...
2 legally aborted fetuses in the 1960s, whose stem cells can be utilized indefinitely. This is how the viral particles for the vaccine are grown, which are then purified to remove cellular debris and growth agents. The vaccine doesn't literally contain aborted fetal tissue. The only reason anti-vaccine propagandists say this is because their side door into your trust involves triggering fear and outrage, and lots of people who are susceptible to their lies are also anti-abortion. It's just another button for them to push to get you angry enough to buy what they're selling you. Then comes the variety of other substances that are cited in outrage. A big one is aluminum. Aluminum is the most common metal in nature. It's in the ground, in the air, in the water, in your food, as well as in breast milk and baby formula, so it's in babies too. Aluminum salts are...
Basically what I just got there is that there's aluminum inside titties. From everything he just said. That's just the dude brain, but I mean, yeah, bread, the earth, probably a babbling brook, but I really just did get the titties from that, really.
breast milk, and baby formula, so it's in babies too. Aluminum salts are present in certain vaccines as adjuvants, meaning something that improves the resulting immune response. But complaints regarding toxicity are oblivious to one indispensable fact, which is that the dose makes the poison. Again, it is not the case that some substances are toxic and others are not. Literally everything is harmful in high enough dosage. There is an amount of water that if
you'll die. You will. And it happened one time to this, I think it was, may have been in my hometown, may have been in Alabama. I'm not sure. But this lady, it was a competition. They were drinking water. If you can drink this much amount of water, you may win this much amount of money. And she drank a lot of water, bro, and she died from just the amount of water that I think she drowned herself, I think, really. Damn near.
you drink it, you will die. Not drown, mind you. Water intoxication, a disruption of brain function.
Same.
Without oxygen, we die in minutes, but breathing pure oxygen for a couple hours will kill you. Any substance can kill you. The key is how much it takes to kill you. And even things that are on the more toxic side, discussing them without citing amounts is pointless. Chemicals that are known to be significantly toxic are still everywhere. Metals like lead, cadmium, thallium, there's some of each in your body at all times, even in the bloodstream. Compounds like formaldehyde are present naturally in dozens of fruits and vegetables, in quantities that would surprise most people.
For those of you that don't know, formaldehyde is what was used back in fucking Egyptian times to embalm the dead, if I'm not mistaken.
Our bodies are constantly coming into contact with these substances.
I don't like pears. Vaccines contain up to 100, whatever the fuck that symbol is, and I don't know why it's upside down. Or 0.83% of the formaldehyde in a pear. I knew there was something about pears I didn't like. I just don't like them, bro. I don't think they're good. It tastes like a... it kind of tastes like a dry, shitty apple. Really.
Just in amounts that are extremely tolerable and manageable. So when people worry about aluminum in vaccines without asking how much is in there, they are not understanding the concept of toxicity. The amount of aluminum in a vaccine is so negligible that it does not even measurably raise the levels of aluminum that are already present in any child.
It may not even appear as a... It may not even register as a number, period.
There is many times more aluminum in an antacid tablet than in a vaccine. It's nowhere near enough to be harmful, period. The general public needs to get over the idea of bad chemicals and good chemicals. Anything can kill you if you ingest too much.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. You said the general public. It's a person is smart. The general public is fucking stupid. That's just facts, bro. Tommy Lee Jones said it the best in Men in Black. A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, fucking animals, and you know it. They're idiots in packs, right? So, talk about the general public, bro. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath.
Enough to be harmful, period. The general public needs to get over the idea of bad chemicals and good chemicals. Anything can kill you if you ingest too much, and even the most toxic substances in
even mac and cheese, bro. You ingest enough of that for a long enough time, I think you're just looking at like heart disease there, but still, it can. You know, you eat a double quarter pounder every day for 27 years. You might be at risk, bruh.
In the world have a threshold below which they will do no harm. The dose makes the poison. Moving on, it would be unfair to skip over
not the poison being the poison. Like he said, you have plenty of poisons in your body already. You have plenty of poisons that you ingest already. And I don't know if it's true, but I heard it somewhere. On average, you swallow about 7 spiders in your sleep every year. Right? So, poison is poison, and poison is whatever. But if you take this poison and you do a big amount, then yeah, you'll definitely see some catastrophic damage, and you'll definitely see some changes, and you'll definitely see some adverse effects. Not the regular whatever the fuck amount that is just daily. You know what I'm saying? Y'all understand.
Over the handful of incidents in which vaccine technology was mishandled in unfortunate ways. For example, the forced polio immunization campaign of 1955 resulted in some children accidentally being given the live virus, meaning not attenuated enough, so it just gave them polio. Then there was the swine flu vaccine of 1976, from which 1 in 100,000 developed something called Guillain-Barré syndrome. These are bad things that did happen, which have fueled vaccine hesitancy.
And I would understand someone's hesitancy, but we no longer live in a time where photographs are in black and white, so I feel like you can trust the vaccines a little bit more than yesterday. You know what I'm saying? 1976? What was the other year here? 1955? Are you really going to compare modern day medicine to 1955 and 1976? Again, I can understand hesitancy, but fuck, man. Like, this was Stone Age medicine. We're in the future now, bro. We really are. As far as medicine, we are in the future. I know that this future didn't look like the future you imagined when you were 8 years old, when you thought we were going to have jetpacks and flying cars, but bro, as of right now, we are in the future. Scientifically, technologically, medically, we're in the future, right? So I can understand your hesitancy, but again, you don't need to be this paranoid. I just didn't want to take the fucking COVID vaccine because I didn't want to take the fucking COVID vaccine. I didn't get sick. I'm more of a reactive person when it comes to sicknesses, and I don't go to the doctor. I let that shit naturally run its course through my body, and I use home remedies. I don't stick myself. I hate going to the doctor, bro. I already have to go to the doctor for one thing that I can't control, and that's epilepsy. But if I can control going to the doctor, I'm not going. So I understand hesitancy, but I mean, y'all are looking at 2 different generations of medicine, and y'all are comparing them, and y'all shouldn't compare them this way because it's leaps and bounds better, bro. It's like literally night and day on the way that it's studied, and on the way that these things are made, and on the way that they're distributed, right?
Some children accidentally being given the live virus, meaning not attenuated enough, so it just gave them polio. Then there was the swine flu vaccine of 1976, from which 1 in 100,000 developed something called Guillain-Barré syndrome. These are bad things that did happen, which have fueled vaccine hesitancy with some justification. But vaccines have come a long way over the decades, with smaller antigenic loads and better studies and techniques being done. So apart from such isolated incidents, the only generalized anti-vaccine talking points that are even remotely reasonable are the ones regarding adverse reactions and vaccine injuries.
And it's crazy that the same people that are hesitant are the same people that can see a car crash every single day, right? And even watch car crashes on YouTube, and even watch fucking documentaries or videos about the deadliest car crashes in history, yet still hot behind the wheel of a car. You know the risk, you know what could happen, even if you're being safe, but you do it anyways, right? The difference here. I feel like there's more risk behind a car than a risk here. At least here, if you get fucked up here, you can sue a shit ton of people. You wreck your car, that's your fault. I'm just saying.
There is a risk of anaphylactic shock in people with a history of sensitivity. So
Well, there's also a risk of anaphylactic shock if you're allergic to peanuts.
there can be mild to moderate consequences for around 1 in every 53,000 people, though they can be screened for such that those with contraindications can know which vaccines to avoid, and vaccine recipients are monitored in case an adverse reaction occurs. Also, in general, the negative ramifications of vaccine injuries are dramatically outweighed by the immeasurable benefit of totally eradicating pathogens that have killed millions or even billions of people. If the enormous number of deaths due to automobile accidents that occur every year doesn't cause us to discontinue driving cars, then the comparatively negligible number of adverse vaccine reactions certainly should not be considered a reason not to vaccinate.
Me and Dave literally, they're like, we're on the same fucking page, man. Same page.
And finally, since it's on everyone's mind, let's run down a short list of the most frequent talking points regarding the COVID vaccines.
Oh, can we please pass this? It's almost over, and I truly, can we stop it here, David? Please? Or is this important? Because it's COVID at this point, and I've watched this movie so many times. Yeah? Okay, cool. Thanks. Perfect. That was good. Informative. I enjoyed it. It wasn't actually as boring as I thought it was going to be. Really. I saw vaccine and I was like, oh man. Right? So some interesting stuff to talk about. I like that I watched this because, you know, Professor Dave seems like a smart dude, and the way he uses his brain is the way that I use my brain. So that makes me feel better about myself. I'm not as stupid as I thought. So, yeah. I don't know what we got left. Aeronator. What's good? Happy Friday. You have missed quite a bit. Got done watching a video about vaccines. It wasn't the most riveting video in the world, but it was informative and educational. And he was pretty much preaching to the choir in the video, but, you know, it was good to have some confirmation that I'm not an idiot. So no one has since, I haven't checked the Discord in a minute. Let me just make sure. Check. No? Okay. Good. Do y'all want to do some more of this? Who requested this? Kevin? Drago, you still in here? This one's Halo. I kind of want to do it. These are actually funny. I hate them, but they're funny. Halo, Reach, Brain Rot. So we did. Hold on. Which ones have we done? We did Skyrim, Brain Rot, and then Skyrim Intro, Brain Rot 2. I kind of want to do the Halo Reach one, and then maybe we get into Fallout New Vegas. One of the best Fallouts, in my opinion. And then Fallout 3. I didn't play much of Fallout 3. I played a little bit of it. I played more Fallout 4 than I did Fallout 3, but Fallout New Vegas was so much fun. And then your boy never got into Fallout 76 because, well, it's Fallout 76. Oh, Christian, welcome back. I'm sorry you had internet troubles. Okay. Nah, did we lose? He was like the main reason. Yo, Drago, you still here? Did we lose you? That'd be a shame if you weren't here. Fallout was heavily influenced by Mad Max. Bro, you know what we need? We need season 2 of Fallout. The show, man. And hopefully, after they finish the Fallout show, they do a spin-off where they focus on the ghouls. And what's his name? Walter Goggins. They focus on his character as the ghoul. And have a spin-off show off of that. I'd watch the shit out of that, because that's literally my favorite character in the show. Is the ghoul. There's a lot of cool characters. I actually like all the characters in that show. But yeah, my favorite one is that dude. He's fire. Okay, how many of you played Halo Reach? No, you know what? This is Dark Knight, and it's only a minute and a half. Let me just see. Let's just watch it. It's a shame. Drago's gonna miss this. Dark Knight. My favorite Batman movie. I don't know, is that out of line? Is that wrong to say? I know people have specific favorite Batman movies, but let's just exclude all of the old classics for a second and just focus on modern times, okay? Dark Knight is like the best. The absolute best. Dark Knight did in one movie what Marvel has been trying to do since Infinity War. They just can't do it. It's so good. I've seen this movie so many times. I can quote so much of it, man. Especially a lot of the Joker's lines, man, because like it's just everything about this movie is great from start to finish. So, my favorite Batman movie. It's one of my favorite superhero movies. Short of the original Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock, the first Iron Man movie. And then when I saw fucking Thor come down and kill a whole bunch of fucking Thanos' army on some gangster shit. I mean, like, that. Can't really think of any other moments or movies that I like better. A lot of good stuff in there, but I mean, as far as a superhero movie, this pretty much set the bar for me. This pretty much set the bar for a lot of this genre. And some have come close, some have tried. Robert Pattinson's Batman, I mean, compared to this, is fucking boring. Even though I like it. I like that it had more investigative work than just brute force fighting. I love seeing the fighting. I love seeing Batman's abilities and stuff like that. The way he approaches the situation. But I also like seeing the detective work. They don't call him the greatest detective alive for no fucking reason. I like seeing that stuff. The nerd part of me likes that shit. Yo, John, what's good? The Ghoul gave me Western vibes. I love that character, man. I really do. Worst superhero movie of all time is Green Lantern. Hold on now. Follow me here. I have a contender for being worse than Green Lantern. Listen. The reboot of Fantastic Four that they made back in the mid 2000s, right? 2011, 12 maybe, right? It had Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch. That movie, that shit was trash. That was so bad. Yeah. That movie was it. That movie is so bad. That movie is worse than Morbius. That movie is worse than Morbius, guys. And I have a good memory, man, sometimes. And if memory serves me correctly, a lot of people forget. But that movie was so trash. I couldn't believe it. I saw Fantastic Four and I was like, dope, man. I kind of liked the first one. The sequel was... I really like Silver Surfer. Let's see what this has. What a disappointment. What a disappointment. The first two movies, man, with Jessica Alba and Chris Evans as the Human Torch, those were fun for me. Say what you will, some people would call them trash. Some people would call them subpar. I liked them. The way they did Doctor Doom to me in that movie was kind of stupid. That movie really needed a third movie. But I think people were over it. But I think people felt stupid for thinking that once they rebooted Fantastic Four, and it was just like, nah, bring the other people back. That's not it. That's whosever idea that was. No more ideas for you. Stop making the movies. Stop the production. We don't consent to this. Anyways, here we go. Let's try this.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Mindful, demure, sussy. You turned every cell phone in Gotham into a goon station.
And a high-frequency Bitcoin miner.
You took the Patriot Act and applied it to every cell phone in the city. With this much spank fuel, you could edge to all of Gotham. This is wrong.
I gotta this man, Lucius.
At what cost?
The sus stuff is in a hidden album. It can only be accessed by one person.
When you're done.
This is too much freak stuff for the average person.
That's why I'm giving it to you. Only you can watch it.
Helping you spy on 30 million people will never be part of my job description.
It's totally free, no charge.
I will help you this one time. But consider this my resignation. As long as this machine is in your goon cave, I won't be.
When you're done, type in your name.
When you finish, keep it clean.
The original line to that is, when you're finished, type in your name. Because his name is the self-destruct sequence to this machine, right? Keep it clean. Welcome back, Governor Robinson. Oh, we need some Joker shit, really. Mainly that interrogation scene with Bats and the Joker. Where are they? Oh, I'm going to tell you where they are. Both of them. And that's the point. You will have to choose. Harvey Dent or his little boogie or something like that, man. Oh, the movie's so good. We need something like that. That'd be hilarious for parody purposes. ME2 parody in progress. What is ME2? I don't know. Well, I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is gonna play Doctor Doom, so we'll see how that goes. That's the only thing that'll get my ass in the theater. Really, I don't plan on going back to the theater. I've seen everything that's gonna come out this year. At least a little bit of it. None of it do I want to go to the theater for. So I don't think there's anything coming out this year that. And hell, damn near the best movie of last year. I didn't even go to theaters. I did pay to see it though. I rented it on YouTube. Oppenheimer. Love that movie. So good. It's long. Hope you ain't got shit to do. Oh, by Matt Best. Yeah, those would be fun. Yeah, John, that's what I'm talking about. The one where Miles Teller plays Mr. Fantastic. Some weird bug-eyed girl plays Sue Storm. The Thing is played by Reed's best friend. They give him like some shit backstory. And then Human Torch is Michael B. Jordan. I can't even remember how they're friends. I can't even remember how they know each other. All I know is that Reed is insanely smart, like he should be, at a very early age. They spend a whole bunch of time proving how smart he is. And then the rest of the movie is just them being fucking dumb. Mainly the movie being dumb, and the writing, and fuck, man, everything. That was so disappointing, bro. That was more disappointing than Green Lantern. Man. There was some enjoyable parts to Green Lantern. There was not one enjoyable part to that Fantastic Four reboot. Right? At least in Green Lantern, you had Ryan Reynolds, right? So if anything, you laughed a couple times because he's a funny guy, but oh no. Daredevil was kind of shit with Ben Affleck, I will say. I did like Will Ferrell as Bullseye, though. I didn't mind that. It's just that movie in general wasn't my thing. Elektra. Jennifer Garner's sexy, but that also wasn't my thing, really. Didn't much. Catwoman, trash. And Hulk, poor Hulk. What a tumultuous life cycle the Hulk character has had. He's been nerfed so many times. Now he's just a little bitch boy that plays second fiddle to the worst character ever created, She-Hulk. Honestly, I'm be honest with you guys. When it comes to Hulk, bro, I prefer the mindless monster. I don't want to hear you speak. I did not like the combination of Hulk and Bruce. You're either the mindless beast or you're Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner brings a lot of shit to the table. He's insanely smart. But Hulk brings a physical aspect that's unmatched. I prefer Hulk being Hulk. Be dumb, don't talk, smash. I don't like this hybrid bullshit. It's never really my thing. If you want to talk to Bruce again, calm down the monster. You don't just fucking say that. I just felt like that was lazy. Really, just mixing them both. And then you don't even tell the audience how it happened. It's just like some half-baked bullshit like, oh, I just fucking, I thought about it real hard. And fucking, I worked on myself and did Tai Chi. And did fucking yoga. Merged my inner self together. It's so fucking lame, man. Like, go away. You're so useless. You're so insanely useless, man. got your ass whooped by Thanos, and then you snapped and didn't even do it right. Tony had to do it. It's just like, you know, I was mad. Now I'm not mad anymore. You know, that's what I see. I love, dude, this right here, where he's like, now's the time to get angry, Dr. Banner. Well, that's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry. Fucking fantastic. That's perfect. That's it. That's the, man, I like that. I like that whole thing, but it's like,
fucking, I just look like a big green Seth Rogen now. Fucking, I became one with myself.
Nah. That's not fun. Ice bath. What is that? Ben Affleck is just awful. Hey now. Hey now. What do you mean, is Batman? Because Ben Affleck is not a bad actor. Y'all ever seen that movie, The Accountant? Shit. I was thoroughly impressed. I was thoroughly impressed with that movie. Just watched it recently too. So good. And hey, no, I will say that Ben Affleck as Batman was not bad. But did y'all see, bro, that one scene where he goes to save Clark's mother from those goons, and it's like a 1v7, and he's just fucking beating the shit out of these dudes? Man, that scene was fire. That is peak Batman. And the fact that his Batman looks so swole and like brawler type, it reminds me of like a specific animated Batman that I really, really liked, where he was just big, just like this big, just piece of fucking brute force meat, right? Just a brick shithouse kind of a person. And he fought that way too, just like in your face, and it was just like very close quarters and very intimate when he was whooping your ass. Right? I love that scene in that movie. It's just that while I liked him as Batman, I didn't really like him too much as Bruce Wayne. He was okay as Bruce Wayne. He wasn't the best Bruce Wayne. And when you play the character of Batman, you have to be able to play both. You can't just play Bats. And you can't just play Bruce. You got to be able to do them both. And so, I don't know. I like Christian Bale's Bruce better. I liked his Bruce better than Affleck's. But Affleck's fight style in his movies, bro, was just incredible. And I liked it a lot better than Christian Bale's fighting style. Christian Bale's fighting style in Batman, it felt very restrictive, because it was very grounded in reality. So with that suit, you know, he can't move all that much, and he's very restricted in his movements, and the movie does a good job of portraying that, you know, with like less armor, and like, Lucius, I need less armor and stuff like that. It shows the progression of stuff like that. Whereas in Batfleck's Batman, bro, he's just a fluid brawler type fighter that doesn't really rely much on armor. He just relies on the fact that he is just such a superior fighter that it doesn't kind of fucking matter. But his suit does have armor to an extent. He did get shot point blank in the back of the head and nothing happened. There's a degree of armor there, but Batfleck's Batman throws more caution to the wind than Bale's Batman. I don't know. He wasn't fat, dude. What are you talking about? Batfleck? He wasn't fat. He just had... What's that dude, Eddie Hall? Eddie Hall, one of the strongest guys alive. He might look fat. That's not fat, bro. That's just like his body type. He's just a hulking individual, and that's kind of like the body type that Bale had. Remember, for his Batman? People thought he looked fat, but no, bro. He was just big. He had that Brock Lesnar body, right? Sometimes Brock Lesnar, he don't even look like he has muscle, but he's big as fuck, right? He's not cut. He's just huge, man, and just like strong. He's got that pit bull body. So I don't know. That's just... Anyways, I honestly can't remember what the fuck we were talking about and how we got on this conversation. Let me find my. What about Joker? Goldberg as Bane? Bro. Who's the guy? What's the name of the actor that plays the really, really big dude in The Longest Yard? The one that's like slamming his head against the wall, right? And Paul Crew goes to recruit him. And he's like, you want to play some ping pong? You know? I'm gonna bring this side touch. Stay calm. Stay calm. Just playing a little ping pong. What's that guy's name? That guy should play Bane. Because when I think of Bane, dude, I don't think of Tom Hardy. I don't think of, bro, I think of like the Cholo motherfucker. Bro, Bane is like Mexican kind of. And even speaks Spanish at times. And he dresses like a luchador, man. He dresses like a fucking lucha libre. He loves wrestling. He dresses like fucking Rey Mysterio. Don't get me wrong, Tom Hardy's that was good, but like that's not the character. That's not even close to the character. So if anyone's gonna play, I don't know if anyone would play Bane, it should be that dude. That big guy. Andre the Giant. No, it's not Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant looks different. This guy has like the like literally like a fucking, like his jawline was chiseled from fucking marble. I can't even remember his name. I think once upon a time he played basketball like in college. He was in The Longest Yard movie. He's huge. He's the biggest guy. Turley. That's his name. He walks up to the, I'm so glad you're back. Now I don't have to stab you. That guy. The crazy dude. Ugh, shit. Now there's nothing there. Tom Hardy was good as Bane, but again, Ashley, that's not the character. It just ain't. I'm just checking my feed to see if there's anything I want to watch later. Anything I want to watch tomorrow. Go live tomorrow. When the actor has no range. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Didn't I tell you, bro? He's not a good actor. When an actor has no range. It's not even about range. He doesn't even... You gotta have something to have range, you know what I mean? Gotta have something there to be able to expand upon it. You don't have that, man. Just a lot of dramatic pauses and cringy one-liners. That's not acting. I can do that. Cringy acting and bad one-liners? Fucking sign me up. I'll be gold medalist at that shit. No, stop. Candace Owens thinks dinosaurs are what? Oh, no. Did she get bored again and now she's saying stupid shit? What could you possibly have to say about dinosaurs that is controversial? Does anyone know about that so that I can just, like, not watch it and y'all can tell me? He's just hot. Bane is gross. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But from a comic book nerd's perspective, not a horny female, Ashley, I'm right. That's not the character. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. People get wrong about zombie apocalypses. I feel like we watched that one already. Charlie Cox was good as Daredevil. I just only watched like the first 5 episodes and then I got busy. And just like I watched like the first 7 episodes of Punisher, and then I just got busy and I never went back. I suppose I should go back and finish watching those shows, even though they're over now. They're no longer running. At least I don't think Punisher is running anymore, which is unfortunate. But I think Daredevil still is, so maybe I'll definitely skip all the crossover episodes that happened with She-Hulk. That was just. And what did they do to Daredevil's uniform? I saw a couple of scenes where he was in She-Hulk. What did they do to his uniform? Why does it look so ugly? Why did they change the colors of it? Why does it look like a combination of baby shit and baby puke mixed with baby formula and baby food? It looks bad. I don't know what they did there. That shit looked like shit. Quite literally. I wish I was being mean. No, that's me being truthful. It looked like shit. Okay, well, you just... All right. There is a Try Not to Laugh we were supposed to watch, but I just can't remember what it was. Why Homelander versus Ghost Rider isn't even close? Yeah, Ghost Rider would wax that ass. Homelander's not beating Ghost Rider. What do y'all think? Ain't no fucking way. He's just a man-child with powers. You can't kill Ghost Rider. But I'm pretty sure Homelander is susceptible to the penance stare, right? That dude is just hard on the outside. On the inside, he's one weak bastard. So I feel like Ghost Rider takes that fight 10 out of 10 times. Although I really sometimes do get kind of tired of seeing Ghost Rider use the penance stare always, all the time. That's just like his go-to thing. It's badass and everything, but anytime I see the Ghost Rider doing something that doesn't include the penance stare, it's always more fun for me. I mean, no, dude, you can thirst it up, Ashley. I don't care. It's just that it does get kind of to me, sometimes it's kind of, at least me, I get irritated sometimes, especially when I'm around the female persuasion. And I'm like, oh my god, they did the character so good, and it was good casting, and like the aesthetic was cool as shit, the uniform was cool as shit, and like he spoke the same way the character does, and it was just awesome, and the CGI, and then the female next to me is like, he's so hot, and I'm just like, did you even watch the movie? Yeah. He with the hammer and the spinny things and some pretty lights there too, but he's so hot. I'm like, oh, you uncultured swine. I don't even know why I brought you to this movie. You don't even appreciate it the way I do. Ghost Rider would laugh at the heat vision from Homelander. Yeah. I kind of want to. Candace saying some very controversial shit about dinosaurs. Who is beefing with dinosaurs? I love dinosaurs. I'm over the Jurassic Park films, but okay, where is it? Where was it? We'll watch it. Oh, it was just here. Maybe I can just type it in. Oh no, wait, I just had to scroll up a little. Oh, come on. Did I really scroll? Oh, here it is. Candace Owen thinks dinosaurs or what? When is she not saying controversial shit? You know, I will say, some of the things that Candace says, not all, but I've just heard her say some stupid. I've heard her say some stuff that I'm just like, okay. That's like my only response. Well, okay. Kind of like that girl, that girl Pearl, white ginger girl, right? It's always talking shit to women. There's some shit that she says that I'm just like, hey, you know what it's like to be a dude. Nice. That's cool. But then there's other shit that she says that it's just like, you don't make any sense. Do you hate women or do you just hate yourself? You don't make any sense. Anyways. I don't think we'll watch the whole video, depending on what it...
Whenever heartburn strikes, get fast relief.
Depending on what it's about and how interesting it is. Let's see.
Over here in the UK, we don't really know who Candice Owens is. But having recently checked it out, I can confirm that she has some worrying views. Not least on science. You don't want to miss this one. Here we go. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Right, on with today's video, which features Candice Owen, and it's taken from the Jack Neal podcast. Now, all was pretty normal for her, I guess, until Jack asked about the moon landing.
I can't watch Candace all that much. Like, whenever she first came on the scene, I was just like, she seems well-spoken, smart, doesn't take shit from nobody, shares some of the same views that I have, some of the same thought processes that I have, some of the same logic that I have. And then I just began to see way too much of her, and I was just like, okay, that's enough. That's enough of that. And then sometimes I feel like some of the ridiculous shit that she says, she doesn't actually believe it. I just feel like she's saying these things to just like bombastic. She said what? Clicks, likes, views. I think she knows what she's doing. I think sometimes she says ridiculous shit on purpose. So some of the things that she says, sometimes I don't even really truly feel like she believes them. She just knows that she knows that it's gonna bring attention. She's a very confrontational, outspoken black female. I feel like she knows what she's doing with some of the controversial shit that she said. Because I mean, she's a conservative, and sometimes I consider myself conservative too, even though I'm more in the middle of shit. But I don't know. Sometimes Candace is just a little too much for me. Overbearing, I think, is the word a little bit that I'm looking for. Overbearing and very, very self-important. I couldn't hang out with Candace all day. That's definitely. No.
Here we go, everyone.
I want to go more into the moon landing, actually. You called the moon landing the Easter Bunny for adults, which I think is hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, that. I love that we're talking about this because, so what's funny is a lot of people, like, we just have good, like, you have your instinct. I always say, like, your gut is divine. Like that, somebody tells you something and you just go, doesn't really make sense, right?
Yes, this is called personal incredulity. It means you can't believe or understand something. Therefore, you don't believe that something.
I don't really know, but then suddenly psychology, what they've realized, and this gets back to Sigmund Freud and then Edward Bernays, who was considered the father of propaganda in America, who was Sigmund Freud's nephew, they realize that if you just keep saying to someone something, it becomes true. And again, the bigger of a lie, people will believe it.
I don't know about that.
I got it. You know who you know who she reminds me of? You know who Candace Owens reminds me of? It just hit me, man. It just hit me. She reminds me of like a slightly more annoying version of Olivia Pope from the TV show called Scandal. And I love Olivia Pope, but there was times in that show where I was just like, bitch, you stupid. Stop it. How can you be so smart, so fucking dumb? You know, it's like, that's what she reminds me of. Really. And I'm interested to see what she's going to say about the moon landing, because everyone has their own opinion about the moon landing. I believe we did go to the moon. I just don't believe it was in 1969. We went to the moon eventually. I don't know, but let's see what she says. Not to mention, you look at all the footage from the moon landing, and some of the things, there's a lot of stuff in there that is just so accurate for what it would be like to be in space. And do you have any idea how hard it would be to actually fake that? I know Hollywood's good, bro, but they're not that good. They're not that good. Especially back in these times, man. Practical effects, sure, but CGI, definitely not. And you got to think of the way that dirt moves in space. With no atmosphere, with no gravity. You got to think of how all of this shit plays out in space. From the movement of the astronauts, to the movement of the rover, to the movement of the landing, to the movement of the sand, to the dirt, the soil there. Everything that, how it behaves, how it moves when it's interacted with by humans. There's so much shit that, had it been faked, there's so much shit that would bleed through. Because it's just almost impossible to replicate that kind of shit in a time where the visual effects didn't exist to create that kind of shit. And you know what I'm saying? We did go to the moon. Just don't think it was in 1960. Or maybe we did, bro. Maybe we just pulled one out of our ass and we had multiple failures upon failures upon failures, and the Soviet Union was pretty much beating our ass every single step of the way. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, not only do we take off, we go, we land, and come back with proof. I'm like, damn, bro, that was a leap. That was a crazy leap on what was just failure after failure to just incredible accomplishment and achievement. You know what I'm saying? So like, I can understand the skepticism and shit like that. And even at one point, man, before I did my own research, I was skeptical. I was like, how does a country go from just failure after failure after failure? And this country's beating our ass, man. And this is not just about getting to space. This is about like personal pride and pride in your country. And basically, our president talked a whole bunch of shit and said we would do it, so we gotta fucking do it. Because JFK said that shit, bro. We will get to the moon. And NASA's like, did he just say before the 80s we'll get to the moon? Oh, man. Someone go talk to John and explain to him that's not how that works. Okay.
Flat earthers have been saying that the earth is flat for decades and still people don't believe them.
And so what we have is what Scott Adams refers to as the non-expert problem. So your gut tells you like, sounds pretty crazy that we went to the moon all these times for a couple of years and then we just didn't go back forever and we were just like done. Like that sounds weird. And where's the technology? And they didn't even have cell phones. And like you're telling me this, they live streamed this and there was a phone call. I don't know, like it just seems like a little weird for like 1960.
I mean, there was television broadcast. Yeah. The TV definitely came out before the cell phone, Candace.
And like you're telling me this, they live streamed this and there was a phone call. I don't know, like it just seems like a little weird for like 1969. But you're like, but I don't really understand kind of outer space. Yeah. So I'm not going to debate this, but my gut tells me this is all BS. Like, that was where I was.
Yes, and you said it yourself, the non-expert problem. Although this does not stop a lot of people telling you things that they've got no business or qualification to do so.
And then what's interesting is like Bill Maher made fun of me for this like a little tweet that I said that, I don't know, the moon landing just seems weird. And whenever the media like tries to make you feel like you're stupid, that's usually for me like the first breadcrumb that like you're onto something, because that's what they are trained to do. They're trained to sit here and tell you, you're ridiculous, you don't believe this.
Well, in this instance, I can tell you that you are not onto something. But to be honest, thinking that you are because Bill Maher made fun of you is not ideal, is it?
No. But then I decided to read this document. It was 119 pages. And I know there's a book too, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon, and he just broke down the science in a way that was very digestible, so I didn't have a non-expert problem.
Yeah, you still do, because Bart Sabrell, the author, is not an expert either.
And so there's a big...
Yeah, that's like, so you essentially read the space equivalent of what a flat earther would say. And said, hey, I'm onto something because this guy corroborated what I think. Really. My personal opinion, bro, is that you can say all day it was faked, right? And I literally just basically debunked my own statement of saying that it's fake, but at the same time, I have reasons and theories and beliefs that yes, we did go to the moon, bro. We did. We absolutely 100% did. It's just that there's a lot of things. This is the way I'm explaining it for myself. It's just there's a lot of things back in the day on why I thought it was kind of bullshit that we went when they say we would, when they say we did, right? But then, and I told you my reasons for that, man. We were just catastrophically failing. There was like 6 or 7 rockets that couldn't even get off the launch pad, right? And then miraculously, we go to the moon. So think about it in the terms of sports, right? You got this guy who is just, man, he can't hit the ball. He can't. He strikes out every single fucking time. Every single fucking time. He's either striking out, grounding out, he's either popping up. He can't hit the ball where he's supposed to hit it. Is like, and if he hits it, it's not that far, right? He can only hit it past, like, I don't know, second base, maybe get it into the outfield. And then, like, I don't know, a year later, this guy is yoking bombs, bro. Missiles. He's hitting it out of the stadium. In your head, what do you think? This guy couldn't do shit a year ago. And you mean to tell me he's made this much progress in just a year? Nah, bro, I'm calling bullshit. I think you're cheating. I think you're on steroids. I think you're doing something funny. Right? And that was my whole thought process, really. So I was like, I think we win. I just don't think it was in 1969. And if it was fake, then that is the fakery, and they just never showed us the real one, right? But then as I got older, I was just like, bro, do you have any idea how many people would have to be involved for a hoax of this magnitude? Because this just wasn't an achievement for the world. Or this just wasn't an achievement for America. This wasn't just an achievement for JFK and his presidency. This was an achievement for all of mankind. The whole planet, right? So, like, I don't know. I kind of just, like, got off that. And right now, I'm whatever. I don't really give a fuck at this point. If it was faked, if it wasn't, if it's real, if it's not, I got better shit to worry about. As long as the moon continues to make our tides work the way they work and continues to allow gravity to exist and shit like that, cool. I give a fuck less about the moon, but, you know, for a while there, I was a skeptic myself. And naturally, I'm just a skeptic about a lot of shit. You know what was also weird? 9/11, right? So, but I feel like the way that Candace explains herself is just like in a... This guy that doesn't know shit told me I'm right, so I know I'm right. But I don't... That's not the way to be.
Basic thing that you guys can do. If you're like somebody who's like, it had to have happened, the moon landing, what you can do is look up... I'm calling this the firmament, but it's the what is the belt?
The atmosphere, the stratosphere, the fucking
100 miles out, you hit the
asteroid belt? No.
Van Allen belt.
Closer to 400 miles, but stretching all the way out to 36,000 miles with an inner and outer belt. Yes.
Okay, so there's a Van Allen belt. So we have never gone beyond that belt, right? There's been no human that's gone beyond that belt since the moon landings, allegedly. And not even Elon Musk, when they go out to space, they have to stay, like, there is a space station, but like once you get 200 miles out, you hit the Van Allen belt, which has an incredible amount of radiation. NASA has said, like, in order for us to get through it, we'd have to have cement blocks around someone.
I don't think NASA have ever said that, have they, Candice? During the Apollo missions, spacecrafts were planned to pass carefully through the belts as quickly as possible, reducing the amount of time exposed to...
And what are you talking... She says, we haven't sent anything... What are you talking about? We have sent plenty of shit past that point. What? This girl's weird.
radiation. Astronauts spent only a few minutes passing through.
I think Candace should just stick to telling middle-aged white women how to behave, right? Because she does that fairly well. So stick to doing that. You and the sciences girl, that's not a good mixture.
The most intense parts of the Van Allen belts.
Because I love me some science, but I also love me a good conspiracy. And sometimes the two intersect. But I don't throw intelligence to the wind, nor common sense. So
that is all.
So I want you to just Google, if you're watching this, the temperature of the Van Allen belt. Okay, just Google that.
Yes, please do. And then proceed to misinterpret heat and temperature, which of course are not the same thing.
Especially in the vacuum of space.
Get something like at the lowest points in the Van Allen belt, it's, I think, 3,000 Kelvin. And at the highest points, it's like 30,000 Kelvin. And then I want you to Google what material the shuttle was made out of. And then I want you to Google at what temperature
that would burn.
That would just burn. And you're just going to laugh out loud. You go, this literally doesn't make sense that an aluminum alloy could have gone through the Van Allen belt for an hour and a half or 59 minutes. It just couldn't have happened. It literally can't happen. There's no explanation for it. They just don't even talk about it. They don't like talking about the Van Allen belt because that part makes entirely no sense.
And yes, you have done just that. The temperature of the Van Allen belts is indeed that high, but the air pressure up there is almost non-existent. For heat to transfer like that, you need collisions of particles. So conduction or convection. And even though the particles in the Van Allen belt have high energy, they do not carry enough thermal energy because of the low density of particles to significantly heat a spacecraft. The spacecraft...
And did you forget that you're in the vacuum of space? You know how hot our sun is right now? Our sun, no pun intended, is on fucking fire. Bro, fire! And we're fine. Granted, some months are hotter than the others, but...
materials and design handle
Yeah,
this.
and also, Candace, stop telling motherfuckers to Google shit. If you're not smart enough to actually explain what you're talking about, then please be quiet. Oh, Google it. Oh, Google it. That just means you're too lazy to explain it, and you're too lazy to interpret it. Or if you're not too lazy to explain it or interpret it, you're simply not smart enough. And that's okay. There's a whole bunch of stuff in this field that I'm not smart enough to explain or educate people on either. So you know what I do, Candace? I just don't. Instead, I opt to become educated. Once I become educated, then I'm a smarter person and I can give this information on to somebody else, because knowledge doesn't belong to any one person. It belongs to everybody, right? So once you learn something, you can give that information to somebody else. It just so happens that you don't know anything. You're just telling people where to go to find information that you have misinterpreted in several ways. So stop that, man. Is that how you... I hope that's not how you raise your children. Mommy, what is this? Google it.
Limited heat transfer with no problems at all. Now, no one is afraid to talk about that. It's a simple explanation correcting your misunderstanding.
And then he went through and he spoke about like the camera. So they allegedly took camera. I want you to Google the temperature of the moon. Okay, they had their big bulky gloves on. They took these cameras and just go, hey, what camera is that from 1969 that was able to survive temperatures of like 250 degrees Fahrenheit to like negative 250 degrees Fahrenheit, just like on the moon while they were just like jumping around.
The same principle I just talked about then applies here too. You're not proving anything with this.
And you're gonna go, where is this camera? Then Google's gonna tell you, oh, actually, they only made 8 of those cameras and they decided to give them, you're gonna love this, to a guy who makes movies. I'm blanking on the name of this guy.
Yeah, his name is Stanley Kubrick. I got it. Yeah, I know where you're going.
Who just a couple of years...
And the fact that you're trying to explain this so definitively and you can't even think of the fucking name of the person? I hate when people act this smug and they can't tell you anything. What's that guy's name? What's that guy's name? I'm gonna sit here and act like a subject matter expert, but what's that guy's name? Come on, what is it? What is it? Tell me. You know the thing. Stop. Stop it.
for the moon landing. He's a famous
Stanley Kubrick. He's a director from Hollywood, and yes, we all know the conspiracy.
director. He made a movie about outer space.
He also made a movie called The Shining.
Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, he has them?
A movie director. He got them.
And that's simply not true.
It's not.
Again, most of the Hasselblad cameras used on the Apollo missions were left on the moon to save weight on the return journey. The only thing NASA gave Kubrick was a lens used for space photography. That is it.
So we can't look at those. That technology's been lost.
Yeah,
Stanley
yeah,
Kubrick though used it when he shot the movie 2 years prior. It's like he obviously shot this like fake set moon landing. Why would you give them to him?
As I said, they didn't, Candice.
And it's
Do
like,
you know who he was friends with?
who was he friends with?
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. You don't know this. So he was friends with Jack Parsons, who established the Apollo program for NASA. So those two were friends. They were out in LA and they literally worshiped Satan. They were both Aleister Crowley recipients. So they were considered, the religion was called Thelema. They believed that they could create the basically Aleister Crowley was a Satanist, the most well-known Satanist of the time. And he basically, when he was a kid, he read the Bible, read Revelation, read about the whore of Babylon, which would like conquer the nations, and got inspired by the whore of Babylon and created a religion about that, which was called Thelema. And his protege was Jack Parsons. He was the creator of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which became the Apollo program.
Okay, first off, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory did not become the Apollo program. And Jack Parsons was a founder of JPL, but not the Apollo missions. His work helped with the Apollo missions, yes, but he didn't start the program. Anyway, Jack moves on to dinosaurs, and it gets a bit more interesting from here.
Okay, so now we're finally getting to the dinosaurs. I kind of simply straight up just forgot that we were even talking about dinosaurs. We've been talking about the fucking moon landing this entire time, man. I will tell you this. I will tell you this, guys. I do find it odd that we've never gone back. I do. I do find it odd that with all this talk of interplanetary travel and establishing a colony and colonizing a planet for future use, I can't believe we're having talks about that, yet not one single fucking time have we sent a group of people up to the fucking moon to see if they can even survive an extended amount of time on another rock. Because I kind of feel like if you can survive on the moon, you can somewhat sort of in a roundabout fucking way survive on Mars, right? So where's all the practice runs? Why don't we have a Taco Bell on the moon yet? That's the question. That's like the real question. We've never really gone back for anything. You would think that single-handedly one of the greatest achievements of mankind, we've only done it a handful of times. That's always been weird to me, and we've gone back to the moon more times in movies than we have in real life. We have. So, I don't know, man. That's it. That's it. Like we're on the verge of like exploring the solar system, but we can't have a trial run on the moon. We can't put like, I don't know, a green room. Man, what about that? Dude, I remember as a kid, I used to see like remember the Jetsons? They used to have shit on the moon, right? And stuff like that. A greenhouse and just stuff. Y'all ever see the movie The Martian? What he had on Mars? Who played? Was it Matt Damon? The Martian. What he had on Mars, I would have thought that we would have had that on the moon already. I thought that we would have already had people living on the moon already. And at this point, I thought that would have been like a fucking luxury destination for like the mega rich. But nope, we ain't never gone back. We haven't given a fuck about going back. We haven't given a fuck about seeing on what's on the other side of the moon, the dark side of the moon. We haven't given a fuck about going back and retrieving more shit. The rocks we got in the 60s, that's good enough. What? Why? Let's go back and see what has changed. What's different about it? I'm pretty sure that there's... I don't know, man. That's the only thing, really, just single-handedly one of the greatest accomplishments in the history of our species, and we only did it a handful of times. We got there. Pack it up, let's go home. What? That don't make no sense to me, and maybe there's a reason and I just don't know. But oh no, let's get to the dinosaurs though.
It's interesting, the conspiracies that we've been talking about so far, there's a lot of incentive structures, like reasons that the government would want to push these narratives for their own benefit. But one that you talked about, and you haven't gone into it too much in depth, but you don't believe dinosaurs are real.
Oh, and here's the thing, what he just said right here. What is the benefit? Let's just say we were all lied to. And we actually never went to the moon, and it was actually recorded, and we've all been duped. What benefit would that have for the person that is trying to dupe you? Guys, we got them to believe we landed on the moon. Okay, well, now what? I don't know. I didn't think they'd actually believe us. So what do we do now? I guess let's go back to hanging out, I guess. I mean, like, what benefit? Do you guys know what I'm saying? Like, why lie to people about going and landing? What benefit would that have? I mean, sure, we beat the Soviets. Sure, JFK made good on his promise. Sure, it made America look good. Sure, it made the world feel good. But at the end of the day, did we really need any of that shit for continued survival? Not really. I mean, what good would it do to lie people about this? What are you benefiting from? Are you making money from this lie? I can't imagine you would be. What are you gaining from this? It's just like the flat earthers. That's the main question I have for them. What is the benefit about lying to us about what shape the planet is? Who benefits from that? Who is the benefactor of said information? And what are they benefiting exactly? Does anyone know? Do you see what I'm getting at? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Why lie about something so... I don't know.
This is a funny one. So this is one of the ones where I'm like, gut. I'm not kidding. This conversation happened and it was so funny. I was just walking with Savannah, my manager, because we do like these little evening walks. And I just looked up to her and I was like, dinosaurs, that seems pretty fake and gay.
Really? The concept of dinosaurs is not only fake.
It's gay? This girl is fucking weird, man. I know that, I'm telling you, man, when she first came on the scene, everyone was like, yo, hey, that Candace Owens, man. Nice. She's a real one. I don't think that's longer the case. You're weird. What about dinosaurs is gay? You can think it's fake, whatever, but I would really love to hear your reasoning on the gay part. What?
To you, but they also have a sexuality? Right.
She's like, Savannah's from Tennessee. She's like, I've never believed in dinosaurs. Like, literally, everyone thinks there's like some conspiracy behind it. I was like, that was how it started. And I was like, what on earth? I'm like, it's funny because people will literally say they don't believe in God, but then tell them like dinosaurs aren't real and they fall apart. Like, I'm like, okay, so they're just roaming the planet. And I was like, that's really interesting.
There's literally proof. They're called paleontologists. No, they're called, it's either paleontologist or an archaeologist. What the fuck are you talking about? Because there's literal proof. It's in the bones. We did carbon dating. Yo. Candace has some really good weed. Candace got the best weed this side of the Mississippi.
But then, because I got into and very much subscribe and believe and know to be true that there is a Christ conspiracy that's happening right now, which is the intentional removal of Christ because they want people not to believe in God, but instead to believe in humans.
Yeah, that's called people going about their daily lives not worried about a deity. It's not anti-Christ, it's just a non-belief.
Well, that is what evolutionary theory was about. because rather than making human beings believe that they had a creator, there was no concept of a dinosaur until 1850. That's very recent.
Oh.
Right? That's the first time they were like, we actually think that there were these reptiles that are roaming the planet. And then within that same decade, they were like, dinosaur bones. And then they started finding them everywhere. I'm like, okay, so nobody found this.
Again, not true. The word dinosaur came after the discovery of dinosaur bones. And Richard Owen coined the phrase in 1842. The first dinosaur bones, the very first ones, were found 200 years before that.
And then suddenly there's entire museums and in China.
I didn't know the exact number, but I knew that as a fact. Yes,
They have actually been caught manufacturing dinosaur bones many times over, and it is the case.
No, I'm pretty sure the dinosaur bones that you think are manufactured, there probably are dinosaur bones that are manufactured, but probably for display purposes, man. You know, there's some dinosaur bones that they can't be put up on display because they are fucking fossils. They're literal relics, man. Why do you think they're so brushing and picking away all this dirt? Because this shit could break or fall apart. And they do their best to preserve this shit. So sometimes they might take the real bones and preserve them. Maybe put them away somewhere. And they'll just fucking 3D print some shit of what they know of what it actually looks like. You can't 3D print some shit if you don't know what you're 3D printing. Candace. You can't. You can't make a 3D printing out of nothing. You can't. You can't make something out of nothing. So, therefore, I don't know why you're not going to get it. I don't know why I'm explaining it. You're not going to understand it.
That dinosaur bones, for whatever reason, are always just found by the paleontologist. Like, it's not like you and me walking outside. I'm like, hey, a dinosaur bone. And, or by somebody who's related to a paleontologist. It's very strange.
A farmer.
What? So you think that only paleontologists have found dinosaur bones? That's like saying that only cave divers have found caves. Yeah.
Found the first ever Argentinosaurus bone. And that's just one example. There's many more.
Yeah.
Again, that was not true.
Anyways, I don't know for sure.
See, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure on the accuracy. You're gonna have to Google it. I don't exactly know. I'm not sure. You'll have to confirm with someone else. Girl, you have said, in 10 minutes, you have basically said, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but just in a whole bunch of words. Yikes.
But you think the incentive structure there is to move away from God?
Well, they want you to believe that God isn't real. That, like, the theory of evolution, like you're an ape. What happened was just over time. Like, you used to be a little chimpanzee.
So Candace believes in God? Is that what I'm gathering? Candace believes in God? Well, isn't that just but a hypocritical fucking thing right there? You believe in God. Does she? I don't know, but let's just say that she does. You can believe in God. Something that literally has zero proof. That's why it's called a faith. But the one thing that actually has evidence, you're like, nah, fake and gay. Uh-huh. Right. I think that makes sense, right? We tracking here? All right.
Chimpanzee, but then with time, this is why you learn about theory of evolution, Homo sapien, Australopithecus, but then we were Homo erectus, and now you're a human being.
Isn't that the definition of Satanism?
Yeah.
Like, to believe that, like, Earth is the kingdom, kind of?
Yes, and that is what these people were pushing. And so once you start to realize that Satanism is real, that these people who created everything that we view in Western society to be real believed in Satan, right?
But Satan is equally as fictional. They are also incorrect. And on top of that, I know several people that are religious, believe in God, and understand that dinosaurs were real. You're talking as if the only people that understand dinosaurs were real are atheists. They're not.
They know God's real, and yet they're convincing everyone that God isn't. And so when you speak to people that are super rational out of school, you're like, well, the evolutionary theory makes sense. So it makes sense to you that you started as a chimpanzee. Like, that's a faith, buddy. It makes sense to you. And if you say to them, like, of course you went to the moon, then you start talking about basic science, but they don't actually know. They can't talk to you about Van Allen belt. They don't know anything. It's a faith.
And you don't know these things either, Candice, which is why you're wrong.
Like, they have asserted, and what's interesting, even that, going to the moon, the Bible talks about a firmament. And if the firmament in the Bible, if you look at that, you would go, okay, well, it says that as below, so above, and this is how God created it. So if the Bible is real, which I know in my heart to be true, there's no way we got past this firmament.
You believe the Bible to be true. You believe an interpretation of an interpretation of an interpretation that has been changed, added to, and amended several times and was written by man, and man can be fallible. And you believe that over hardcore physical evidence of the existence of what you're saying is fake and gay. You make no sense. You make no sense. There is more merit and truth in actual bones of a dinosaur than anything you can find in the fucking Bible. Those are just stories. Dinosaurs are a proven archaeological fact. And I don't give a fuck who you are. And if you disagree, you're an idiot. Fuck out of here. What are you talking about? You're starting to piss me off, man. I really like to have given you the benefit of the doubt at the beginning, and that's what I was trying to do. Because you're not all the way stupid, but right here in this area, in this like field, in this topic, you're a fucking dummy.
Again, there are plenty of people on this earth who are religious, believe in God, and understand that we went to the moon.
Yes.
But it's interesting because, yeah, once you start to realize that all of it is about countering everything that is in the Bible, right? You have a creator. No. Evolutionary theory is real, actually. What happened was a meteor hit, and I don't know, like the meteor hit and wiped out the dinosaurs, but then like the lizards came. I don't even really, when you get down to even just thinking about that, you're like, okay, so it wiped out the dinosaurs. Then what happened? They're like, well, then the amoeba was around, but then like little lizards are from that. I actually don't. I have a lot of questions. I wish I was in 6th grade again because
it's called evolution, girl. What do you think a chicken is? What do you think a hawk is? What do you think an ostrich is? These are animals that crocodiles, sharks, orcas, whale. Bro, every animal that we have right now pretty much got nuked, man. It got nerfed. It got nerfed, man. Life happened. That fucking asteroid nerfed every single fucking animal. Chicken at one point was probably a fucking velociraptor. You don't know, man? Every single animal and their massive size basically just went from this to this, which allowed room for us to exist. If dinosaurs never become extinct, we never breathe oxygen, girl. Because dinosaurs were around for 200 million years prior to the existence of humans, meaning if that asteroid never hits, we never become a thing. Because they were in existence for millions of years before us, it's safe to say they would be in existence millions of years after we were supposed to be there. But guess what? The asteroid hit, they got, right? Darwinism, right? Shit happens. And then in came us, man. And there's plenty of people that could pull God from that. What, you're saying that God's not responsible? I don't really give a fuck less about religion either way, but what are you saying? That the existence of God can only be real if it follows your logic of how it should be real? What if God made evolution? What if God did all this shit that you're claiming, oh, there's no way, but like, what?
They tell us all this stuff, like dinosaurs are like when you're in 2nd grade and guys are like, yeah. Guys are the hardest about the dinosaurs. They are dinosaur stands.
I love dinosaurs growing up.
I know. Boys love it. It's like a culture. So when I said this.
It's not a culture. It's scientific fact. You wench.
On my show, I was like, dinosaurs are fake and gay. My producer, all the boys were like, no, you've taken it too far.
You've just openly admitted that you don't know enough about it, but then continue to say that they're fake. You see the issue here, Candice? I think we'll leave this one now and say that we're all done and dusted for another Tinfoil Tuesday. Let me know in the comments there what you thought of Candace's views. But for now,
Her views make me want to attempt to try to stick my dick up my own ass. Just like take it and bend it and like just try to, you know, some squirrely shit, right? Which her views on other stuff make sense. I'd probably agree on other shit, but on this shit that requires, I don't know, intelligence, critical thinking, and more than just a simple fucking Google search, you're an idiot. Big time. Buffoon. Moron. I can't think of any other word to describe someone that's mentally inept in a specific subject, but that's you, girl. I've never seen someone so cocky and confident in what they're talking about, yet say the words, I don't know, I'm not sure, and I can't think of it right now, as many times as you did. That's embarrassing. That just means you don't know shit. And you're just regurgitating what the last stupid person said. You'll never actually have a full-blown conversation with someone that actually knows something. No, what do y'all do? Y'all go onto podcasts that entertain your stupid behavior. That's what you got, Candace, that's why you got embarrassed by Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan's not afraid to call out his guests. That guy that you're talking to, that blonde-haired dude, gave you no pushback on nothing that you said. None. Bro, reminded me of a Joe Biden interview with the media asking him what flavor ice cream he had that day. That guy gave you no pushback. That guy gave you, like, nothing. He just allowed you to be dumb and damn near almost praised you for it, man. Really. Because he definitely didn't clown on you for it. He just let you be. And those are the only people that you want. Those are the only people that you want to talk to, Candace. The people that will just let you be. The people that won't call you out. The people that won't tell you you're wrong. The people that won't actually hit you with facts. You know, something that you should have gotten, but had you gotten the facts, you'd have nothing to talk about because all you're talking about is bullshit. And with facts, you can't say bullshit. You just got to say, I don't know, the fact. But sorry, Candace. Science doesn't revolve around opinion. It just doesn't. Your precious little religion might, but science does not. It is fact. Rooted in intelligence, logic, numbers, variables, shit that we know to be 100% unequivocally, without a doubt, true, solid fact. That's where we stand on. You stand on a mountain of dumbass quicksand. Just sinking. The further and further you speak. Sinking. Man. And it's okay to parrot somebody. I've parroted plenty of people before, but here's the thing. I parrot the smart people. You parrot the stupid ones. It's okay if you don't have an original thought and someone has to tell you like, hey, this is what this means. And I'm teaching you. And this is why it means what it means, right? It's okay to get educated, right? But I take my education from smart people. You take your education from stupid people. Or you just go on Google for 5 minutes, read half of an article, and think you're a subject matter expert. Fuck out of my face, Candace. Stick to your podcast where you just roast the Kardashians all day. That's what you're good at. This type of shit, you suck. You ain't good. Motherfucking yikes. I can say for certain that dinosaurs are real. I can say for certain that dinosaurs were real. And I know for a fact that gravity exists. And if it's not gravity, then there is a force that causes me to plummet straight to the fucking ground if I jump off the roof. If you use a specific set of numbers and equations, that will equal out to gravity. You can't see oxygen, but it still exists, right? You can still breathe. That's what I don't understand about people that, well, I can't see gravity, therefore it's not there. You can't see oxygen. It's there. I can't. I can't. Okay, guys, gals, I'm hungry. I'm sweating. And I'm a little irritated. Mainly hungry. So, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna go get some food, deal with my niece. She got in trouble at school yesterday. And I think today. And yeah, damn. Women versus men's football. The women have nicer asses. That's for sure. Will this asteroid actually kill us? Oh, would you look at that? All of the YouTubers are finally opening their brains, something I've known for fucking years now. I've been tracking this asteroid forever. Y'all are finally on it. Welcome to the conversation. About fucking time. Jesus. I was wondering if anybody but me was gonna talk about this thing. Man, 2032. It's gonna make a pass. And if it passes the Earth just right, it'll latch onto our gravity. And when it comes around again, it will hit this planet. And I seem to be the only one that really cares or wants to talk about it or even mentions it. And fucking finally, Mutahar, welcome to the conversation. I'm so glad that someone else gives a shit. Lord. Anyways, guys, gals, thank you so much for hanging out. Hair is fucking stuck. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm gonna go get some food. Oh, and I gotta go to the smoke shop. How much? That is not good. That is a big hole fucking empty. All right, yeah, guys, gals, love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow will be a music stream on Twitch. Maybe it'll be a variety stream again here on YouTube. I'll leave it up to you guys and see what y'all want to do. I'll post tonight and see what we do tomorrow. So, yeah, anyways, love y'all. Have a good evening. Thanks for chilling. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see y'all hopefully tomorrow if I don't have a fantastic rest of your weekend. All right?